Oh, what's up, everybody? Thursday night, as Todd called it, Thirsty Thursday. Time for another episode of Beer Flow. So tonight, we'll talk a little Ballast Point. It's a nice little guitar strumming, don't you think? You guys like a little guitar strumming there? A little PE to start it out. Talk some beer news. Talk some other stuff happening in the beer world. Talk about some of the beer videos. I just got tagged in another video. I don't know if you guys saw that or not. So thanks to the Beautiful Beer Reviews for tagging me there. So then I had to comment, and I tagged some other people, including honorable mention to one of our cast members here, Average Joe, shaking his head, who'll be making his worldwide debut on Sunday, April 1st. Not just the rising of Jesus, but the rising of Average Joe as well.
I never thought about it like that.
Like I did that, right? Like I did that.
I didn't plan this purposely for that reason. It was more because it was April Fool's Day, and I thought I would be like, I'm going to fool people. But now that you say it that way, kind of regretting it just a bit.
He won't be the only guy with a beard having a resurrection. So, and then of course we got Todd from Indiana, who maybe one day down the line will have Todd have a show as well. So.
Just crash your alls forever.
So tonight from Ballast Point, I've actually got Manta Ray Double India Pale Ale. I only got the one. Well, I got 2 bottles of it, but I had the one. But this is part of the ones I got recently. What did you guys end up picking up?
I was looking for that one, but I didn't. A funny story: my local bottle shop that I usually buy all my stuff from actually only had 2 to choose from, and they had all kinds of Ballast Points at one time. And the guy said that they were the guy that was working there was like, we're not buying it as much as we were because it's not moving off the shelves, so they're not taking up the space like they were. So my pickings were slim. I have the High West Barrel Aged Victory at Sea, which I already had, so I'm going to pick one of those. And then picked up the Grapefruit Sculpin. So the only options I had was the Grapefruit and the regular Victory at Sea. I didn't grab that one because I already had the barrel age. So interesting little tidbit there. I didn't realize that had dropped off that far already. In a short time I've been in distro here.
Well, it kind of sucks. It kind of sucks you have to drink a Victory at Sea. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
When those bad blows of life thrown your way. But Joe, what do you got?
On Sunday, I hung out with a buddy here locally for the first time in a couple of weeks. I actually was able to drink beer, which was nice. In my drunken stupor of hanging out with him, in the back of my head, a little light bulb rang and it said, we're doing a show this week and it's Ballast Point. And I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, I don't know what to buy. And then what? Yeah. Same thing as fucking Todd, motherfuckers. I saw this in the corner and I was like, I had the, at a share in the fall, I had the rum and rye whiskey one that they did brewery only, and it was amazing. So I was like, I saw good things about this. I'll pick it up. I was like, I don't really want to buy much of Ballast Point. No, I'm just joking. I just picked up that. They had a whole bunch of stuff, but I just picked it up. I just figured, 12% or 11% or where I'm good to go. So I'm just happy. I remembered. I'm old now.
Both of you guys. No. I go to the basement and get my peanut butter Victory. See if I.
You should.
But
what'd you pay for that, Rod? Like 99 cents
for the peanut butter Victory? I wish.
$1.50.
I think I got it for $8.99 or something now.
Todd, what'd you pay for your High West? What was it per bottle?
Might have been $14.99 for 4 pounds.
Yep, $3.99 was the going rate here. So
now I will say these 2 came from a 12-pack that I got for like $6.99. So
nice. Nice.
It happens once in a while.
Oh, this smells amazing! Holy crap!
Do they have dates on their bottles? Because I don't see any. Oh wait, it's on the bottom. Never mind.
Started from the bottom. Now we here.
So let me. That's actually good. We're gonna talk about that later, Todd. But if you want to know the breakdown of what that code means, I can tell you right now.
Say it, brother. Tell it.
Okay, so look at the code again, Todd. At the top, are you looking at you got Grapefruit Sculpin, right?
Yeah.
So does it say GC?
No.
What about MR?
What does it say on the bottom left? The number.
Looks like on the very bottom of the bottle, or
Was there when you look on the bottom of the bottle and there's numbers and stuff, right? Like on the very bottom, the underneath, right?
The 5
it
digits?
looks like
The 5-digit code.
No, there isn't a 5. Oh, wait a minute. I can't really read. Some of it's rubbed off.
All right, we'll ask Rod. The 5-digit code. What's the 5-digit code on yours?
I'm not a smart man, Jenny. 17277.
What is it?
17277.
So that is the 277th day of 2017. The first 2 is the year, and the next 3 is the day of the year. So yours was.
What is that?
Well, it's the Julian code that they use, the day of the year, and then. But if you go to their website, ballastpoint.com, they have a date stamped guide that shows you exactly how to find out what it is, what batch number it is, and the bottling date. So
what about the letters up top? Like it says MR19.
So MR is manta ray, which you have, and 19 means the 19th batch of that year.
And the time it came out was 7:40?
Yep.
Nice.
There you go. So I mean, it's pretty simple. It's basically the initials of the beer, the batch number, and then underneath is the first 2 are the date or the year. The next 3 are the day of the year, and then the last is the time it was actually brewed or bottled. I mean, so and they have all the information on the website, which is cool. I wish more breweries did that. If they don't have some kind of simplistic bottle or can on date, then you should at least make the effort to allow your consumers to understand how fresh their beer is.
Yeah. Unless you're trying to screw them.
It's true.
It looks like 170. Looks like 177, but I can't read the rest of it. It looks like it's scraped off.
77.
Maybe 3rd of January 18. Maybe 3 January 18.
Yo, you tell me, Todd. You tell me.
It's your world, Todd.
Yeah, Todd. We don't know, dude. This is really good. This is High West. This is tasty.
Yeah, that one is nice. I've had 1 out of the 4-pack already. Not today, but
let's say 12%. It doesn't taste like 12%.
I'm just saying.
It's so smooth though, and it has like a nice creaminess to it too.
Look at that. It's the E-Man.
Yay.
What's
on, gentlemen?
What's happening, brother? What you drinking tonight? What you bring in for a little Ballast Point action?
The High West barrel-aged.
We should have synced
one
this
of these
together.
kids is doing their own
Is
thing.
it a trifecta? Is it a trifecta?
Yeah, everyone but Rod has it.
Oh.
This is like
But yeah, on the bottom of my Victory at Sea, I can read all that. It's
You can.
17,331.
This is like a Gladys Knight the Fifth show here.
Which means basically that's December, sometime December of 2017, 331.
So of course then it has the
No.
HWVA 146.
Yeah,
Where's it at, Todd?
At the very bottom, Eric.
Bottom,
Very
right on the bottom.
At the bottom, Eric, at the bottom.
Started from the bottom, now we here.
Mine's too small. 17254.
So the 254th day of 2017, yes. That was when it was bottled. So that matters for this beer because this beer can freaking.
That is really a screwed up way to do it. I'm just saying. That's
that's. I mean,
it's their code. At least you know what it means. But I'm saying it's just like
now.
I'd rather just have the actual date myself.
Some newer craft beer drinkers, like Eric, for example, who's just been in it for a couple of years. That's just how they used to date bottles. There was never a bottled on date or canned on date, or usually not even a Best Buy. It was the Julian code. That's how, like Sierra Nevada used to do it exactly that way for a long time.
Right.
So, and then that's what people would say, be like, okay, if you know the Julian code, it's very it's simplistic when you look at it. If it says 17254, like Eric's, you always take the first 2 numbers are the year. So 2017. The next 3 are the day of the year, 365 days in a year. If it says 254, then you're sometime in the fall. But again, why not, make it simple and just put the date, the month, the day, the year, just simple there. But a lot of places have finally done it, but I guess Ballast Point's like, fuck it. figure it out yourself. But they do put it on the site, so at least you can check it out there.
Yeah.
What do they say, Joe?
I'm pretty sure they say, fuck it. Figure it out yourself. That's exactly what they say.
Actually, if you look at the fine print, it says right there. Fuck it.
Yeah, fuck it, figure it out yourself. And then they just have the ballastpoint.com/date stamp guide.
But welcome to the viewers out there as well. Feel free to make yourself at home. Drop some comments in the comment section. Get some beers out. Get your beer on. Jason Voorhees, welcome. He asked, does every brewery have their own code? Because I couldn't make sense of Bellhaven's.
Well, yeah, there is no like standard code outside of the Julian code. Like I said, so many breweries have used that for a long time. Bellhaven being an imported beer, they probably have their own, quirky way of putting the code on the bottle and what it means. I know there's a lot of different breweries that do it differently, just probably to confuse us because they're pieces of shit. But for the most part, they should just be some kind of standardized like dating system that everyone can. You don't have to go to a date stamp guide and like read stuff so we can figure out when it was put in the bottle.
It's like I reminds me of the middleman, like in Office Space. Do they really need you? They can't figure out the date without me. I have to tell them.
I mean, when you're in a beer store and there's like 4 people huddled around a single beer and they're trying to figure out the date, it's like, where did we go wrong? This is terrible.
I was going to say, Chris is in the house. He's already saying, hashtag, fuck it, figure it out yourself.
You're on your own.
Yeah.
Jason says it was inspired anyway. Backwoods Billy, hello. He says codes are difficult to break. On the 10th, the Beer Patrol can crack those codes. Yes, Beer Patrol is on it. Let us know, by the way, too. We're thinking of a theme song for Joe's channel.
There is no fucking theme song. There's no theme song.
You might want to have, maybe it's Welcome Back Cotter, maybe it's Magnum PI. We had Night Rider out there.
Grow out a 6 stash or something if I get Magnum PI.
Gotta be like a facts of life. Take the good, you take the bad, you take the
Tom, Tom, what the fuck, man? I thought I liked you, buddy. The facts of life.
I'll take a little Miami Vice.
Yeah, there you go. A little Phil Collins.
Sweet, I'm done.
Backwoods Billy says just put a born on date, the style, the ABV, IBUs, SRM, and ingredients, and I wouldn't be disappointed with that.
There should simple information you should give the consumer. It's like,
I mean, if you can put the warning on there, you should be able to put on some of the other key information.
I think it's ridiculous in this day and age. Like in New York State, you don't even have to put the ABV on the bottle or the can. You don't have to.
People know what they're drinking. Like they get all shit face.
Yeah, I have no idea. But I feel like ingredients at the very least should be something that should be on the can or bottle. That and ABV. Backwoods Billy mentioned like IBU and SRM, and that would all be great. But like, you really need the ABV, and it'd be really nice to know the ingredients. That at the very basic level, that stuff should be included. And
ABV should be a requirement everywhere, I would think.
It should be.
She said I could have one beer. I had the Molotov cocktail.
Yeah.
Exactly. Nowadays, isn't it scary nowadays, though? So many of these 8, 9, 10, 12% beers taste like they're 6, 7, and they're double that.
Exactly. Yeah,
it's unreal.
I mean, I drink a Molotov cocktail, and that's like, I think 17 or whatever. It doesn't feel like it's even near 17.
No, it's scary, man. It's scary. Like 8% beers are like the norm now, and it's like, what? They're Imperials, yeah, but they taste like they're 5. That's a problem, especially if there's not an ABV on it.
Hey, Tom, how much did you pay for a 4-pack of this?
I think it was $14.99.
I paid the same thing.
I didn't buy a 4-pack, but it was $3.99 a bottle, and it was $14.99 a 4-pack. So very similar for all.
Really, for a 12% beer, that's not bad for a 4-pack.
No, that's fucking great. Consider
Especially
this.
for Ballast Point.
Yeah.
Yep. Consider this. KBS is going to come out very similar 4-pack, same everything. It's going to be $20 to $25 a 4-pack, depending on where you are.
Yeah. Well, on the 10th is still with the big push for What Is Love to be the theme song of Joe's channel.
When I'm on the 10th or in his party room or whatever, when we hang out at the Albino Rhinos Beer Fest, you're getting power bombed through a fucking table. That's all I know. Someone's getting power bombed. Maybe Dusty Rhodes gets busted out. Maybe bionic elbows. Oh, maybe a bit some steel chairs, baby. Oh, whacking our
Backwoods Billy says I have a case of Sculpin Grapefruit IPA I just picked up. Just a lot of IPA to work through. Phone a friend.
Now, speaking of that, what do you guys think of the Sculpin series?
I like the original the most out of them. I think some of the other stuff get a little carried away.
I've never had any of them, any of the variants, or any of them.
I think Sculpin's awesome. Grapefruit Sculpin is quite tasty. And then, after that, for me, it was like, nah, just go back to regular Sculpin or grapefruit.
Yeah, grapefruit. Yeah, grapefruit was good, but the other ones like,
I enjoyed habanero, but it was so inconsistent in the heat level that it kind of upset me. It's like one bottle would be like, wow, is it really habanero peppers?
I know it's habanero. It says it's habanero. Yeah. So I expect it to be spicy, but not this damn spicy in my beer.
Yeah. And then the next one would be like, dude, am I eating a whole habanero right now? It was like from one bottle to the next, it was so inconsistent. I was like, I'm not going to buy it. Because
I really like those hot habanero, that heat with my beer, but they're really hard to find sometimes.
Start getting that sweat beat on the back of your neck.
Yeah. Exactly.
The hottest beer I ever had was the Crime and Punishment series, the original release from Stone, where they put all the super peppers in. I think we reviewed it on the Albino Rhino channel. They're on there somewhere. Awesome pepper flavor, but damn, were those hot, man. It was like we shared the entire bottle between like half dozen people, and I was like, I'm good with my 3 ounces over here.
Bum said he just finished his 6-pack of Alpha Sculpin Aloha Sculpin last night. Which I've heard about that one. I haven't had it yet, but he said he should have saved one for tonight. I'm hearing some people do like that one, so I'll probably give that a try at some point.
Is that one with coconut? I've never had that one either.
The Aloha?
I thought it had tropical fruit.
I don't know if that's coconut or not.
I thought it was coconut.
Bum does not have coconut.
I'm looking it up right now. Oh, baby, it doesn't look like it had the coconut, baby.
What'd you say, coconut? Joe is typing away.
Yeah, I had to look real quick because
This was really fast.
They just they just use a special yeast that imparts just more fruity flavors, I guess, is what Aloha's called.
Ashley Sexton says, and welcome, Ashley. The ingredient list should be a requirement. People need to know what's in macro.
Yeah, people need to see what's also though in micro in craft beer. I love like Omnipolo. They make amazing just stouts and stuff. But when they always hit me with that natural and artificial flavor, I'm like, well, what is it? Yeah. What is it? Like, tell me what it is, because this tastes like some kind of pastry. I know you're not using all real ingredients. There's something going on here, but you just say artificial flavors. I'm like, well, what are those artificial flavors?
Yeah, keep in mind, remind me, so I don't forget, but there's a piece I read this week that I tried to pull up, but it talked about how they found pesticides in some of the beer brands out there.
Weed killer, right? Yeah, I saw that. Also, Green Point, I don't know if you saw, or Green Flash, about their brewery being auctioned off a la Smutty Nose, the new facility on the East Coast.
Green Flash is being auctioned off. Wow.
The new facility that they made in North Carolina or Delaware, I forgot where it was, but the one that they just opened up a year ago. Apparently,
cut all those jobs. Yeah,
they cut those jobs, and now they're getting their new brewery auctioned off. Yeah. A year old. It's like state of the art auctioned off.
Flash is an interesting brewery. I mean, I'll have their beers, and for the most part, I'm fine with them. I never had anything really disappointing, but there's never another thing that from them knock out of the park or anything with me. They're kind of like there, but they're not really. I can't think of anything really great that says, okay, I really missed this beer when it's not out or something.
And I think we would all agree, and if you don't, disagree and let me know. But I think you all agree when it comes to Green Flash, all these breweries that kind of expanded to the East Coast, the Lagunitas and the Stones of the world, you get that. Like, you're like, okay, Stone's a huge brewery, they make good beer. Lagunitas, so I never thought Green Flash was in that tier. I never ever compared them to a Stone or Lagunitas. I always thought they were a step down. Not that they make bad beer, but I didn't think they were popular enough to justify that expansion. Right. And now here we are a year later after they open it, and sure enough, they weren't.
Yeah. You're like, it's not just me. Apparently, well, the one thing that was interesting before Eric came on, Todd has said, at his store, they stopped selling some in the Ballast Point because it wasn't selling. I wonder if they're starting to price themselves out in some areas because they haven't come down off their price, and you got other craft beers, so many out there you can try. People don't want to step up and pay that additional premium if they don't have to, probably.
No.
Yeah, and that led into the topic of conversation when I was there. When I was talking to the guy, the exact same thing. He was like, they're just so pricey. It's like you can buy multiples of other things that are, if not better, but cheaper. And just as high quality.
I mean, I think you have to know. You have to know what you want to get from them. Like I've on my video, I just said, one of my favorite I had for the Imperial Porter area was the Victory at Sea. But it's one of those things that does really stand out with them. Something like the Manta Ray, this is good, but I could put this on the same level with the Chill Wave from Great Lakes or something like that, and it's being good too. And I'm not going to pay as much for this as that, most likely, or as that for this for that for this. You can get with this, or you can get with that. Anyway,
what is happening?
when you think about it, so it's like in some markets they might price themselves out because they're getting so much up there. You get a 6-pack of some of these craft breweries for like $9.99 when I made that recent beer run, and you're looking at getting a 4-pack of some of their stuff might be $13 or $14.99. It's like, do I want to go up that amount?
Well, the thing with Ballast Point.
Sorry, Joe, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, that's the weird thing about it is this Victory at Sea, the barrel age. You get a 4-pack, it's $14.99, which seems somewhat high, but it's not any higher than anything else. But in comparison to the other things like their sculpins and stuff that you get a 6-pack for, here is like $16.99 for a 6-pack or something. I think of their sculpin stuff.
Yeah.
So really, in their price comparison within their own system, this barrel aged Victory at Sea isn't really that bad of a price anyway. But compared to their other stuff, is an excellent price, I think, in comparison.
Yeah, and to piggyback on that, when Sculpin originally showed up in my area, when I first saw it, it was kind of in the same price range. I think it was like $15.99 a 6-pack, which I'm talking, 7, 8, 9 years ago, right? And that was expensive back then, right? $16 a 6-pack for an IPA. People were like, whoa. And then Constellation Brands bought them a couple years ago, and everyone's like, it's totally going to help, right? Better distribution, sure. Cheaper prices, totally not. So where's the cheaper prices? What the hell are the cheaper prices, Ballast Point?
Well, then I kind of led into conversation of how does Lagunitas get away with selling their stuff so cheap?
Because they're not crooks.
They're not
make such high quality beer.
Meeting some of the guys like everybody else. They're not like a greedy operation from some of the people I've met there,
Yeah, that just shows you too. Like that just kind of proves the point of some of these other companies. They're just all about trying to make the high dollar as much as they can, which you can't fault them. I mean, that's what they're in business for. But also make it a little more priceable for common guy. Like Ballast, like Lagunitas is doing.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say they're all greedy. I say some have slim profit margins, so they got to put the price. But there's some like, come on, like Ballast, what are you doing? You got big bucks behind you. Yeah,
and a lot of them just go with market value too. Like you see a lot of these New England style IPAs that are 4-packs are $20, right? And some people say I'm never paying that, and I get that. But you know what? They'll sell out every single week they have a release. Whether it's the Trilliums of the world or the other halves or whatever, they're selling out every single week. There is a demand for their product. They could probably charge $25 a 4-pack, and people would buy it. So it's not like with Lagunitas, just they just, I guess, understand their consumers. They're like, look, we're not gonna rip them off. We're still gonna be able to make a good profit, and I can, I salute them for that because there's not many other breweries out there that do that.
And there are times you can drop the price some, and they'll lead to you selling more than if you had the higher price on it too. And Lagunitas, I think, is also tapped into that as well.
Like if Ballast Point dropped their Sculpins and even the Sculpin series, I would be more inclined to try like all the new variants that come out. But when I see a Sculpin, a single bottle is $3.54 for an IPA in a 12-ounce bottle that, probably 50-50 whether I enjoy it, I'm not buying it. I based on my experience and based on the price point, I'll go and get something else. Now, if they took it down and made their 6-packs $12 and there were $2.50 a bottle, I'd probably buy every single Ballast Point new release just to try them because it's worth it for the cost. But with Ballast Point, like I've probably drank 2 or 3 of their beers in the last couple of years just because of price point.
Yep, same here.
There was one that I seen at one of my local bottle shops. It was a 22-ounce bottle, and it was like $5.99. What was it? The Piper
Scotch ale. I think that's what that is.
Yeah,
Right?
it was pipe or something. But it was like only like $5.99. I looked, I was like, what's the ABV? It's like 5% or something like that. Real low.
Yeah. Well, you can get some beers that are going to be low. Like you look at some of your land based, but the price is going to be high because to produce them costs a certain amount of money too. So it's not always going to be on the ABV. Sometimes it may be that style of beer, but I look at something like, say, an Evil Twin versus Ballast Point, because some of their beers, they go up a little bit, but I'm like, you know what? I'm more apt to probably pay for the Evil Twin and for the Ballast Point.
Because that shit's going to be good most likely.
Right.
I'm going to be paying $7.99 for this can of like a 12% whatever, but that shit's going to be jam. And I'm going to be drinking it all. I'm loving it. And I'm going to be like, I don't care if I pay, 75 cents an ounce because it's amazing. Yeah, this one.
Yeah. Same with like Prairie stuff's the same way. They're expensive, but everything you get from them is just fantastic. I'm not rarely had a bad beer from them.
It's so hilarious you mentioned that because, like I said, I hung out with my buddy this past Sunday, and we were at a place where you can just pick stuff off the shelf. They'll chill it down for you, and you can drink whatever you want, no charge, which I think is pretty cool because they have like 500 different beers, so you can just do. You don't have to. You're not handicapped by whatever they have on tap. You can just go pull stuff off the shelf and just drink it there with no upcharge, which is fantastic. Nice, so we had a Prairie Noir that neither of us have ever had. We had the coffee one before and the vanilla one. He's like, oh, you want to do this? Like, whatever. It was like $10-11 for the 12-ounce bottle, but we shared it. And it was like, I would have probably not bought this otherwise. But then I'm drinking, I'm like, it's probably worth like $10-11 in this market because it's amazing and it's tasty and I love it. And
that whole Noir series, those things are just phenomenal.
Oh yeah, they are. Yeah, Prairie does some really good stuff. All of their specialty releases seem to be really damn good. From Bomb, to the Noirs, to all the weird ones they do. It's Prairie's good stuff.
Lean back and you rock with it.
Mm-hmm. A lot of comments. I don't know if you want to read them or.
If you want to read, I was going to say, I know Jason Voorhees, I left off, says Imperial Session Beer.
Oh shit! Do I need to read them? All right, I'll read them. Backwards Billy says, I've seen beers that I had to hunt to find out the style in the store because they call it false cape ale. It is a pale ale, English American IPA, red, etc. Chris says, hashtag power bombed on the 10th. Yes, you're going to get power bombed on the 10th. And then Bum goes, how about, hey, Joe, where are you going with that gun in your hand? Bum, we're done with the theme songs, Bum.
At least make sure the house with all the stuff happening nowadays.
Freaking unbelievable. And then Chris continues on with, he has the little police cars and he wee-oo. Unbelievable. Billy said something at Ashley Sexton, more like a personal conversation. Bum said hazy IPA, probably in regards to something we were talking about. I don't remember exactly. Sorry, Bum. That's on us. That's on me.
Oh no, he said hazy IPA for what the lowest scope was, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That makes sense then. Backwards Billy says Smutty knows. I heard about yesterday. Yeah, a couple of weeks ago we talked about them getting auctioned off, but I just read a couple of days ago about that new Green Flash Brewery, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. Bart Robinson says, hey, Rod, was thinking of you today as I was in your own stopping grounds in Burlington Township. Took a ride up the turnpike to Joe Cannell's to get my Schlitz malt liquor.
Oh, nice.
Got to travel that far to get it, that is.
Did you go by and see my buddy at Spellbound Brewing yet? I'm curious to see if you went out there yet. And Spellbound just broke off with another 4 breweries to create the New Jersey Beer Guild, kind of separate away from the New Jersey Brewers Association. So that's going to be kind of interesting. They don't feel like they're being represented enough because they're smaller type breweries. So you have to let me know if you got by and saw there. And like I said, that's from my buddy Scott. They're working. Well, he's the owner. He's more like working and owning.
Nice. See if he answers back. Jason says, does anyone know which bourbon distilleries provide barrels to craft beer? Most of them. There's a lot of them.
Yeah, a lot of them will sell them when they get done with them. Yeah.
Like I know Buffalo Trace used to be up there as one of the top bourbon distilleries that would give barrels to the craft breweries, but now it's like I'd imagine almost every single one does because it is lucrative. And you have 6,000 craft breweries in the States, just in the States, and everyone wants to do a barrel aged beer. And
yeah, the good thing we have where I'm at, being in Kentucky, is because bourbons, Kentucky bourbon. Mm-hmm. A lot of them get these barrels from a lot of these brewers. So Wooden Cask, which is one of the locals, they had done their Buffalo Trace bourbon barrel because they got it from Buffalo Trace. There's a lot of For Roses, you see it a lot of the breweries, a lot of different ones they get from a lot of them. So it's pretty. They pretty much when they're done with them, they go out there to buy them, and even some of the breweries when they're done with them, they'll sell them to some of the home brewers. So.
I remember when Anderson Valley out of California, I think they had an exclusive deal with Wild Turkey, and I'm like, that's on you.
I remember that because I had one of
the Anderson Valley Stout. Yeah.
They were like, oh, we got the exclusive deal with them. I'm like, yeah, that's great. Fantastic.
You got gobbled up on that one.
Yep. People writing your material, certainly not wrong.
Wow.
Eric Gilbert says, cheers, people. Cheers, Eric.
Cheers, Eric.
Billy says fastest growing brewery in the U.S. is Lord Hobo Brewing out of New England. Only makes one style of beer, New England style IPAs. They're just selling their beers in New England and other states in liquor stores, grocery stores instead of having to stand in line. Release day like Treehouse, Heady Topper, etc. He also answers Jason's question about the distilleries, talking about using wood chips from discharged barrels for like home brewing and stuff. Beer by the Numbers says, "Hey, what's up, Beer by the Numbers?"
Hey there.
Backwards Billy also says, when I talked with Forrest and Walker at Heavy Seas Brewing Company, they both believed this to be the best method for barrel aging beer, which I talked about the using wood chips. Dominion Brewery also does it, has some award winners.
Yeah, I do want to give a shout out there to Beer by the Numbers, by the way. So if you guys haven't checked out his channel, make sure you do. He has really some interesting, because a lot of us do different things, whether it's beer reviews or beer runs, like that, everything, and occasional educational stuff. But Beer by the Numbers really gets involved in a lot of the kind of key educational type things. So make sure you swing by, check him out. You find out some really good stuff on his channel. So appreciate that.
Indeed, I totally agree. Nice to see him in the chat too. Jamie, Basement Beer, says, cheers, gent. He's enjoying a delicious 7.8 out of 10 Rickards Radler that the Canadian guys did the beer analysis 101 on, and apparently got a 7.8 out of 10 overall. That's on all of them.
I've had a couple Rickards beers, a couple of them.
Yeah, they're not bad, but they're also not 7.8 out of 10. If you feel it,
they're a 9.9.
Better than House.
Maybe they had 11 out of 10. What else we got? Basement Beer also says, because I had to buy a 12-pack. Thanks, Nick. He did have to buy a 12-pack of that.
So, yeah,
he couldn't buy a single bottle. Now, Jamie, I would be blaming Nick because you're the one that made the choice to buy the 12-pack. So. You could have just not shown up.
You could have bought a 12-pack and kept one and gave the rest to some homeless people.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's like grapefruit juice. They would appreciate it. Beer by Number says, at Rod J. BeerVentures, specifically you, Rod, not us. He's not talking to us. No. He said,
none of us.
He said he did a video on the new New Jersey Brewers Guild.
I think that's where I actually saw it, was on his video, as a matter of fact, yes. Sweet. But I saw Spellbound Brewing, and that's the one my buddy runs there.
Yeah, he does have a lot of interesting videos. I do enjoy his channel quite a bit.
I'm trying to think, is Ryan, are you in New Jersey, or I'm trying to think where Ryan's located at?
Where are you located, Ryan? Is it, I want to say it's definitely the East Coast. I don't know if it's New Jersey. Watch us both be wrong because we're ignorant. It's okay. No big deal. Earth says, evening, gents.
Evening, Earth.
Evening. Earth. What on, Earth?
Bart answers you from earlier and says, Rod, I have not yet been to Spellbound, but I intend to, and I will definitely mention your name to Scott. Just been busy. Thanks. Enjoying the chat, fellows.
Thanks. Yeah, he's out there in Mount Holly, New Jersey.
And show the ignorance that we have, Rod. Ryan says, Minnesota. Haha. That's on us.
Yeah. So I guess you're not getting a Philly cheesesteak tonight.
No, he's not. He's probably getting like 7 feet of snow. Backwoods Billy, last thing is, with the wood chips, soak them, then toast them in the oven to char them up, watch them for flare-ups on a cookie sheet with foil lined, and then soak them again before dry hopping. Cheers. And he's talking mostly for home brewers that want to, add some kind of oak influence that and everyone can just buy a barrel. Number one, you can't really get them that easy. A lot of places do sell them, and you can buy them $100 here and there. But if you want to do it a lot cheaper and a bit easier, that's probably the way to go for home brews.
Yeah. And if you guys are interested in a lot of the BJCP, I would definitely say check out Backwoods Billy's channel as well.
Yeah, he's all about
he's very active in the group there, the BJCP. So he'll teach you some things as well.
Mm-hmm. Especially if you want to gain knowledge on specific styles and what to look out for within the styles. That's what BJCP is all about. And, kind of like training your palate to understand what you're tasting and what you shouldn't be tasting and what you shouldn't be tasting.
Yeah.
Good resource, no doubt.
Something is a no-no. And Bart says, well, definitely check out Beers by the Numbers. Yes, do that, Bart. You'll be pleased with a lot of stuff that Ryan does on his channel for sure.
Yeah, a lot of variety.
So, taking a look here. Oh, you son of a...
Guess not.
Yeah, I guess not.
I pull up pieces like on USA Today. USA Today is kind of tricky because it actually would disappear if you don't look at the article quick enough. You need to go back out, come back in, stop the advertising from playing because everybody's got an ad on their stuff. I remember when internet didn't have to deal with that. You could actually watch something and not have to worry about it. Blue Moon, they're launching marijuana-infused beer. So unlike some of the other ones that we talked about before, like Lagunitas, this actually, they're saying has no alcohol in it, which is kind of weird. They promise... Well, I'm sorry, no alcohol, but they promise intoxication without the alcohol headache, which I don't get alcohol headaches. But anyway.
Is that called a hangover? I'm confused. What are they talking about?
No, it says the drink served chilled and initially only available in Colorado this fall will contain no alcohol, but will instead be infused with special marijuana formulas designed to mimic the effects of booze. Its developers say the drink will hit the user at the same pace if they were drinking a beer. So what are they putting into you if it's not the alcohol? Is the question.
Does it come with a complimentary
marijuana? I mean, because you can't really make marijuana in beer to get the benefits of it from everything I've been told and read. They said marijuana-infused foods take typically at least an hour to kick in. Oh, they had some researchers. But this is really about brewing beers. I'd love to be part of that study. Not feeling it yet, fellas. You better give me some more.
Yeah, keep it coming. Keep it coming.
Couldn't you technically brew beer with cannabis, though? I mean, it's like a hop, isn't it?
It's like what?
I said, couldn't you technically brew a beer with cannabis? I mean, it's almost like a hop, isn't it?
No, because it doesn't come out of the cannabis the same way that you get it out of a hop. They're on the same vine, cousin vine or whatever. But to brew it, it brews differently. But it's like some of the other ones that are used in the cannabis beer, they all lack THC. So this one is infused with hemp extract to give them a marijuana taste and help them grab headlines. It says federal law prohibits brewers from using marijuana in their beer. So they're going to try to go to hemp route, I guess.
Who's this brewing it again?
Blue Moon.
Yeah, that's right. You can count me out real quick.
You'll try it. You'll try it.
In Colorado, I heard their brewery is actually a pretty cool brewery. So,
yeah, I remember they honestly this was like 5 years ago. Remember they were making some of the best like sours.
Yeah.
That like at the brewery, and it was like brewery only. People would go there and talk about how good their stuff was, and I was like, "Yeah, why is that stuff not on the shelves then? What's up?"
That was
the 75th variety of Blue Moon, but we can't get it.
That was before Coors Miller, though, right? So
yeah,
you need to shut this shit down right now.
Well, I mean, didn't Blue Moon basically get created by Coors? They decided to they created the Blue Moon name. Coors did originally. And then when
Blue Moon was always part of Coors. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Coors created it as their craft brand, and then when Molson combined with Coors, that was probably about 5 years ago, maybe even a little longer.
Well, it makes sense for Colorado to get that anyway, because I mean they're on the edge of all the marijuana stuff happening. I mean, even more so in California at points it seems. Which at one point near San Francisco they had a lot of the marijuana stuff going too, but then it kind of got shut down or something a little bit because they were called like New Amsterdam or something. They had a nickname for it.
New Amsterdam, I get it.
But it was like Amsterdam, but it rhymed with Amsterdam, but it was something else. But 60 Minutes had done a story on it a couple of years ago how much they were having the clinics out there. They were teaching people how to grow weed and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it was promising. But then,
marijuana, the Stormy Daniels, they're all over the place.
But then they started getting nervous. They had so much exposure. Like, yeah, the DEA still doesn't really like you guys. But someone invented Peeps flavored beer in time for Easter. I've never been a Peep person. If you're out there for Easter, do you eat Peeps at Easter time? I'm curious. I've never liked Peeps.
No, I hate Peeps with a passion.
Yeah, I'm not.
Peanut butter cup or peanut butter like Easter bunny or something.
Yeah, not a good. I don't think I've met too many people that actually like Peeps yet. They're sold every year and people buy them, and I'm like, who are these people? Because I've never met them.
The same people.
If you're into like stale marshmallows, sure,
Yeah.
why not?
It's for the same people that buy Celine Dion albums, you know. Who is buying Celine Dion?
Yeah. And then she had the residency in Las Vegas, and like she would sell out, and I'm like, these people must have so much money they don't care.
Yeah. This is the longest gag thing I've ever seen.
I used to have Peep Wars, put 2 Peeps on the side with toothpicks on them, and the first one to touch won. They would just start expanding.
You're making me choke again. It's not that cool.
But it's one of your breweries. It's one of your breweries you like, Joe.
You're a freaking teenager.
Yeah.
It's Collective Brewing, Lone Star Taps, and Caps Bar. It's a collaboration with the Peeps.
Collective Arts, not Collective Brewing. It's Collective Arts.
That's right, Collective Arts. Oh, that's right.
They make the IPA number 5. I had to get it in there at some point. I did it. I'm done. Sorry.
Are you trying to get ejected?
I mean, if you eject me, then Chris gets power bombed in May, so it's all works out in the end.
Creates an ugly chain of effects.
Yeah.
What did you guys think about the beer? I don't know if you guys saw the piece on the Facebook page with the beer foam writing. I think I did a video on that too. What do you guys think about that? Like, pretentious, cool? You would like it on your beer?
What was that again, Rod?
The new device where they write it on beer foam. Like if you go to Starbucks get coffee, they can lay out engrave on beer foam. Little too much.
Yeah, kind of.
If I can be a little PG, it's fucking stupid, is what I would say. I did see the Yankees.
Earmuffs.
Earmuffs.
Earmuffs. Everybody, I'm sorry.
Hashtag earmuffs.
The Yankees actually bought one of those Ripple machines for Yankee Stadium, and what they were doing is they were putting pictures of Yankees legends and current players into the beer. I think it was a Blue Point Brewing Company. They did their Pinstripe Pilsner for the Yankees, and then when you get a pour of it, it would be like, you know, Babe Ruth at the top, or currently like Aaron Judge or whatever. And MLB cracked down because they're like, you can't do that. Like there was an article about like MLB said you can't do that. I'm like, why are they doing that? No, I don't want to go to drink a beer and be like, oh man, that's Derek Jeter, fan. Who cares? It's a fucking beer. Drink it. Like it doesn't. Oh, it's one of like.
If you drink a beer with Derek Jeter on the phone, would someone actually say you're going down on Derek Jeter?
Oh God!
Unbelievable that just happened. This is not a Canadian. This is not a Canadian hangout, Rod. We're not trying to nick up your channel.
There's that split second of silence. Be like, did you just say that?
I was confused for a second. I'm like, what?
You can read here by the numbers comment. Here's a segue.
How do you are consuming Derek Jeter? Yeah. We'll go to comments just so we have time to forget about whatever just happened. I think to sum it up though, Rod, I don't think anyone thinks that's actually a good idea. Like that machine.
People start ordering it places. I mean, it's a $3,000 machine, and then you have to put other stuff into it. So far,
$3,000.
That's the article I saw. That's what the machine was going for, and bars are probably getting them at some point for special stuff. I don't know what, but
to each their own. Hopefully it doesn't work.
I mean, kids wear $500 sneakers, so
yeah. Well, there's a lot of dumb people out there, right? So.
That's true too.
Ryan says at Rod J BeerVentures, then at Average Joe. He added me. I don't know why. He said hops and cannabis are in the same plant family. I'm not even going to pronounce it, but they're in the same hop family. And he says, but I'm sure the alpha acids in cannabis are way different for brewing. Yeah, I would assume so as well. It'd be curious to see if someone tried it though, like just to see how much of a mess.
Some breweries probably did at some point, or somebody homebrewed, somebody tried it because they know it doesn't work.
Yeah. Bum says Peeps are a product of the Devil's Workshop, just like coleslaw. Whoever likes coleslaw out there, that's bum, not us.
There's different types of coleslaw. You get the sweet coleslaw. You got like the tangy type coleslaw. So
I like how people like
barbecue coleslaw can work. It's the right coleslaw.
Yeah, I mean,
or a hot dog. We used to have coleslaw and hot dogs back in college.
Yeah. Eric Gilbert said, did someone say Pete? I think he's maybe referencing like Scotch. He's maybe a big Scotch drinker.
Yeah.
Perhaps. Backwards Billy says, hey, average Joe, I crashed. Had to reboot. Well, that's unfortunate, Billy, but welcome back.
He's got the broken one thing going on with the computer having to restart.
Yeah. And it's drunken. When 9 p.m., everything's shut down. It's like, yeah, change that drunken one. You get a hold of your computer so you just don't leave Hangouts. How do we say Tyler's last name again?
Tyler Mansell.
Okay, Tyler Mansell says, I got a 4-pack of KBS today. Nice.
Tyler.
Nice.
The national release, they used to be April 1st, but they changed it to March 30th this year for like the national KBS outside of Detroit outside of Michigan, because the Founders does their release a couple weeks ago. I know Eric got his locally and stuff. So, but like the national is March 30th tomorrow. So cool that he got it today though. Some places I guess said a few Founders we're selling it today.
Eric actually reminded us too. It's Oberon time now.
Yeah, happy Oberon Day.
No one likes Oberon.
I like Oberon.
Yeah, I do.
I seen someone said Oberon is the Bud Light of craft beer.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Oberon for me. I don't dislike Oberon. It's a fine beer, but to have a day around it is kind of just weird to me. It's like we have this American Pale Wheat Ale that exists, Eric, and I'm glad you finally had one. But it's like one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's just great. It's like, yeah, I guess you're just happy because it's springtime, but like the beer itself doesn't need.
That's more or less what it is. We're happy because it's springtime.
Yeah, it's an all right beer, but like let's just bring it down to 11. Doesn't need Oberon Day.
I like my Pale Wheat Ale.
Give people a reason to party and they will show.
That's true. Jamie from Basement Beer says, I don't care what you say about Peeps, but you shut your mouth talking about our sweet Canadian Queen Celine Dion or however you spell it. Yeah, you guys disown her too, so don't be lying to us, Jamie. We know how it works.
I wonder who Canadians prefer, Celine Dion or what's the guy? Bieber? Justin Bieber. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say Celine Dion all day, every day. I would just say as like no one wants.
We're not Canadian. I mean, only Canadians can do this.
I'm kind of Canadian. Like I can put my foot across the border. Yeah. Nah, Canadians are weird. Earth says close enough, I think.
Pointing up to Celine Dion.
Yeah, he spelled Dion Deeone. Definitely not.
He's like the Sanders route.
Yeah, she's high stepping into the end zone. It's fantastic. Eric said, "Oh, Peeps. Those things are fucking gross." And then when he said "damn right" in response to that, I said he's probably a Scotch drinker because he said about the Pete thing, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Tyler says I did get it a day early. Lucky to get it in my hometown. Also, Tyler, you probably review it, right? Hopefully.
Yeah, Tyler should do a review on it.
Yeah, sweet. Let us know how it is. Eric's fucking teasing us, so it's a lot of fun. But hopefully it's good this year.
It's awesome. You guys will enjoy it if you get it.
I'm not gonna go hunt for it tomorrow. So if anybody ends up having an extra one and I can't get one, I don't know, some point.
If I stumble across it, I'll probably pick it up. But
I'll probably pick up a couple.
He'll get it for like $4.99.
Yeah. Rod will just.
If it's $4.99, I'll grab a bunch. I'll wipe out the row.
Wipe them out. Yeah.
I'll need a bigger box.
The thing is last year I remember when it came out after the initial release day, which was April 1st. I went to a couple different places and they had tons of cases still left.
Yeah.
I was like, what happened? It's usually sold out, but hopefully that's the case this year.
There was a lot more plentiful last year for sure.
I was say just like Bourbon County Stout, they got dollars behind there. They might be.
I think you're probably going to see more of these type of beers. The kind of it used to be really hard, but they're really good. So they're going to make more and more of them, so more people can enjoy the beer.
Oh, it's just how it works, right? Usually,
yeah. Well, you've seen it with Bourbon County.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's good. That's good for beer. Like a lot of people don't like that, and the truth is a lot of people like rare stuff because they can get it and you can't. So they think they're special, or they're holding over your head or whatever. And it's like, I hope everyone can get everything. Like, that'd be great, because that's what you want everyone to try.
And to those guys, fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to hang around those people.
Exactly.
Because they're all about themselves. So, but you run into those people in the craft beer world. I mean, I have, multiple times, and it's just like, dude, it's just a beverage. Like, look, we all love beer. It's one of our main hobbies. If our main hobbies, we're sitting here on a fucking Google Plus hangout talking about beer for sometimes 3 hours.
Exactly.
We love it, but like, not to that extent. It's still just it's an alcoholic beverage. We all like, discussing and drinking. But if I can't get this beer, then I'll get the next one.
Yeah.
But really, it does come down to that as the look what I got kind of thing. Look what I have, look what you don't have, or look what you can't get.
It's like collecting cards, or any kind of hobby where like you get the special ones and other people can't. It's I get it. You feel a sense of like being special or whatever, and it's like drink. It's just beer, man. Drink it up. Good times.
Hey guys, I'm in the club. I'm in the club, guys. Hey.
Nothing's worse than like watching a beer review from a beer tuber where they're like at the end of it, they're like, "Oh, well, if you can get it, maybe if you try to trade for it." And I'm like, if I have to kill someone to get this beer, probably not going to try and get it. Even if you tell me it's a fucking 7,000 out of 100, I'm probably not going to go crazy for it. It's cool that you got it, but I don't know. I don't ever like that sort of like tone. But anyway, I don't know. I'm just going off a tangent here. Must be this beer that I'm trying to 6%.
This Ballast Point beer.
Tyler said a review will be coming, and
sweet.
Yeah, you'll enjoy it, Tyler. You'll enjoy it. I still got to do a review on it.
Eric Gilbert said it could be worse than Bieber is Celine. There is also Nickelback.
Oh my lord, Canada is just.
Why does everyone fucking not like Nickelback? I don't understand it. They make good music.
Eric get beat up over the last year or so for some reason.
Eric, I thought I liked you.
I thought I liked you too.
Yo, Nickelback is Nickelback, right? They're just Nickelback.
I don't understand the hate.
All their songs sound the same, just a different lyric.
Hey,
all Keanu Reeves. All Keanu Reeves movies look the same. It's just different words.
Yes.
It's true. Let's not talk about Nickelback. Let's just talk about Nickelback because it's Nickelback. Well, how does Canada being the population isn't a lot in Canada compared to the States? How do they provide so many shitty actors and musicians compared to how many people they have in their country? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know.
I have no answer. We need a Canadian to respond.
I'm not answering that.
Yeah.
Booze Reviews is out there. He says Nickelback sucks, coming from an Albernian.
Dan, yeah, nice.
Maybe Dan can comment on some of the music out of Canada.
I mean, there's Rush. I like Rush.
Rush. Isn't John Mellencamp from Canada? Or is he American?
John Mellencamp? He's from Indiana, man.
Yeah, he's not.
I can remember for some reason his mom. Brian Adams from Canada.
God, there's Brian Adams. That wasn't a great like these are still all negatives.
I get it. The knife, baby, cuts like a knife. Yeah, Rush might be at the top of the thing with
Neil Young. There's Neil Young. Yeah. That's
Neil Young's Canadian.
Yeah. Avril Lavigne. Not going to help you there, Dan. Still not going to help you. She did marry Chad Kroeger at one point. So that was like basically the entire universe exploding at that point. Good thing they got divorced because I didn't want to see them together for a while. I mean, like, imagine, did they make any music together? That would probably be the worst. No offense, Eric. It would have to be terrible. Avril Lavigne and Chad Kroeger.
I guess we went full circle because now we're back to Celine Dion with Dan.
Yeah.
And it comes back to Celine every time.
And Dan. And William Shatner.
Dan's over there going, "You can't tell me it's not worth fighting for."
Yeah.
Drake. Isn't Drake Canadian?
Drake is Canadian. Depending on what side of the fence you lean, it could be a positive or a negative. I don't know what it is. No. I don't know how I would vote for Drake. At least he reps Canada. I give him
Canadian, but he's not. I mean,
Yeah.
he does all right. He's not one of the top people. Like people think Drake's always good. I was like, Drake is really not.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Drake on a scale of 1 to 10 is about a solid 5.
I mean, when he first came out, him and Lil Wayne sounded like you didn't know who was singing what.
Yeah, still don't.
You had to focus on what they were saying. Then you had to figure out who was saying it. Not easy. Not easy.
Dan did say William Shatner, and yes, he does music too. Well, William Shatner is a super plus.
Yeah.
His music's probably like a minus, though. So how does that work? I don't know.
We consider William Shatner American ever since he did T.J. Hooker. So you guys lost
That's
him.
true.
David Hasselhoff, is he Canadian?
Let's hope not. I mean, he was Knight Rider, but like the last 20 years kind of negated everything he did as Knight Rider. So
Emily Anderson was Canadian, I think.
I thought Hasselhoff was like Swedish or something. All these people over in Sweden seem to love him.
Wasn't
Everyone
Pamela
over in
Anderson
Europe
Canadian?
loved him.
Like remember when Hasselhoff was drunk and he was like laid down on the floor.
yeah, when he's eating the cheeseburger, yeah, that was fantastic.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what do you like eating cheeseburgers or something?
That would have been a hell of a Knight Rider episode. Kid, give me a cheeseburger. Michael, I cannot drive in the hallway.
I like how this is, I guess, evolved. I was gonna say devolved, but it kind of evolved. I like it into the whole, talking about Canada musicians, and then Paul just randomly out of nowhere just says, "Tell me if you ever really, really, really ever loved a saison. It's all garbage."
Paul brings sunshine.
Leave it to Paul.
Yeah. It's just there's Jamie says good Canadian bands. No means no. Okay. Mother, is it I Mother Earth or just he said I Mother Earth or is Mother Earth? Black Mountain, Rush could go on. Jamie, don't.
I don't know if you can't go any more than that. It almost feels like it's a challenge. Let's see what you got.
That's true. Sure. Here's a good question for Billy. He says, what sales do you guys believe will be big this summer?
This summer?
Well, IPAs like every summer because they're always
obviously
popular.
We know people are going to be jumping on hazy like crazy again.
I think IPAs are kind of overdone.
For me personally, and I think a lot of people like Berliner Weisses and Gozes, that the tart but not overly sour, crushable, refreshing, sub 5%, maybe fruit in it, that you can just go to a barbecue or to the lake or whatever and just tear up a 6-pack of it and not get hammered and still be very thirst quenching.
Yeah.
They're at least the past couple of years. Like something like Oberon, where it doesn't have a ton of flavor, but what's there a lot of people enjoy, and you can it's a lighter beer that you can. It's cheap, readily available.
Yeah, I think
we kind of put Kolsch's in that category a little bit.
Yeah.
People need to get more warmed up to Kolsch's though. Like Kolsch's are a great style. Gozes are a great style, especially for the warmer weather. But people just aren't as familiar with them. Like I would love to see more stuff like Dogfish Head or Sweet Quench Ale. It's a great beer. I like to see more styles like that out there. But I think Billy hits it with like New England IPA and light beer, Pilsner styles. I think those are always going to be kind of popular. One thing that I think is going to be bigger this year, and this goes to a lot of the tracking. In fact, I was talking to one of the guys that's starting a brewery here next year, is that I think you're going to see more of the craft beer cocktails hitting the scene. Yeah. And when you're in locations. You're seeing more of that, especially as you have more of the so-called millennials. They get tagged for not really going into beer as much. They go out, they like a lot of these different drinks. You're seeing more and more in the bar menu where it's like, we got this type of special drink, but we mix together, Blue Moon and then this type of rum or whatever it may be. They're making up these different ideas for how to get people involved that way. So I think you're going to see some more of that out there coming into play.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. You see them in a lot of different breweries. At least I have. Like almost every single one has a menu of beer cocktails, and I've never really tried one because it just doesn't appeal to me. I'm sure some of them are good.
What's your thoughts on that?
Hey, man, more power to the variety out there. Like that's what a lot of people like to get upset about, like what's available, and I always respond, no matter what it is you don't have to buy it. You don't have to like it. You don't have to drink it. Just drink what you like. And like people be like, "Oh, beer cocktails, that's stupid." No, it's like, well, what if people like them? Well, they're stupid. No, they're not. They just like what they like. Just how it is, man. I think it's cool. When you do buy them though, they're a bit more expensive because they have more ingredients going on. But some of them really do sound good. Like I remember being at Voodoo, the Voodoo Brew Pub in Erie, PA, and they had a bunch of crazy. They had like a maple something one, and I was like, Baby, nah. Okay, nah. Like I was thinking about it, but I didn't pull the trigger. But I could see someone drinking whatever. It was like a maple something, and I was just like, it's probably fucking awesome.
Well, like I was on Joe D's show a couple weeks ago, and Bum was on there. I think Bum was on that one, and I had mentioned it was St. Patty's Day, and I had a Guinness. It was a shake at Red Robin. It had Guinness. It had Jameson. It had the soft serve ice cream, and it had like Hershey's chocolate, whatever in there. And it was freaking phenomenal with the mix of the two together. I mean, it was a great milkshake. You got those flavors out of it. I've had other ones that are kind of more of a mixed type drink situation. So, you know, when you think about it, when you went back and you were drinking, like, you know, dropping in the Baileys and the Guinness to make a car bomb, or you were drinking these sake bombs, I mean, you kind of were headed that way anyway at a certain point. I think it's now starting to come more to fruition. And
places create drinks that people want to drink. Because they have to make money, they want to make money, and they want things that are popular and people will buy. So the reason why beer cocktails are so popular is because people are buying them and drinking them.
Yeah. I think you'll see more rise of the pale ales, the pale wheat ales going into this year too. I think more people are starting to like those, a little bit of a hoppiness instead of just your regular, less hoppy wheat ale.
Eric still doesn't think pale wheat ales exist, but Eric, you're wrong.
He drinks Oberon. He drinks Oberon.
Yeah, he drinks Oberon. But I remember when we first talked about it, I was like, that's not where, are you kidding me? That's not even a style. Then I think he had, what was it from Three Floyds? The Gumball head.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't had enough pale ales.
They're pale wheat ales.
Yeah, pale wheat ale. You're like, what does that even mean?
Yeah, what?
It's like, you guys are fucking with me right now. No, really.
Pale ale made with wheat? What? We got a shit ton of comments still. Jesus, there's a lot. We had like 14 people watching.
Go to the comments, Joe.
All right, go ahead, Eric. Go ahead. Yeah.
Do you guys see since Founders came out with their solid gold lagers? Do you see more craft breweries brewing a lager?
I've read a couple pieces where some breweries are looking that way. I think that's kind of a market where most of the breweries are making more ales. I think you're going to see maybe a couple dabble with it. I don't know how many in total will, but
I had the solid gold ale last night, and I can't get into craft beer lagers just because I don't think they're all that much better than macros, and I feel like you're paying a premium. And I get to the point where, like, was that solid gold for what it was? Was it good? Yeah, it was good. But like, if I was drinking a Miller High Life like Nick was, or like a Coors Banquet or something, I think I'd rather have that at price point. And I don't think the solid gold was much better, if any better than those. So it's just like, if you want to support the breweries, if you're local or whatever, if you're really, I got to support all the craft after all the macro stuff, sure. But like, I let my palate usually do the talking in the situation. So it's like, I can't justify paying $1 for a 12-ounce can of Founders when I could get like Coors Banquet or something else cheaper, and it's just as good, if not in some cases better, if you're looking for that style specifically.
Yeah. I mean, I know that is technically not a craft brewery now, but
guy every time, Robin. You're right.
You're not.
Well, like
27%.
Like the Blue Point Toasted Lager. I like that one. I thought it was a really good lager that Blue Point did out of New York. As a lager for someone that was a craft brewery, or really it's still a craft brewery, it's just not a micro craft, it's considered macro craft now. But they did a nice little lager. I mean, I think it just depends. I mean, some people are going to mess around with it. I think if they don't do the lager, you'd have to have more of an influx of like blonde ales, which I'm not a huge fan of either. But that's like kind of your craft step over.
And most places brew lagers to bring over the macro drinkers, because there's a lot of people that go to a craft brewery, and a lot of craft breweries have really good food. So like if you have a group of friends, you go there and you have one or two people that don't drink craft beer, you want to have a good craft lager or a Pilsner, something that's easy for someone to cross over that doesn't drink those beers.
Right.
And I think it's still good for everyone, but as far as like packaging it and making it a big deal, like solid gold, I'm not going to say it's going to go away, but I would not be surprised in 6 months to a year if that beer just is just like brewery only or like specially released here or there, just because I don't know how many people are going to buy it and just buy it over the cheaper macro stuff. We'll see. Tyler mentioned in the comments, he said it did have a little bit more of like, I got like a little slight like lemony kick to it outside of like
and so maybe a slight hoppy notes.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The hoppy had like a slight lemony, like slightly, just ever so slightly hoppy lemon character, citrus character. But it wasn't enough where I'd be like, I'm gonna buy all this and fucking take Coors Banquet and dump it out the window or whatever. It's just like it was good, but I wouldn't pay a premium for it. Is the way I look at it. And when you buy craft lagers, you are paying a premium.
Yeah,
that's just how it works. We have a lot of comments. There's a lot.
Let me give a shout out to.
Right, I'll shut up and let you get to the comments.
I just can't believe it.
Give a shout out to Ricky Potts, who's actually also hitting us up on Twitter because he's watching it and he's tweeting back too. So appreciate that. He's like,
"What's up, buddy? Appreciate it."
Flat 12 hat, and that's Todd out of Indiana as well. So he's paying respect to Todd in the Flat 12.
Yeah, I'll try to get through these a bit quicker. Eric Gilbert says Leonard Cohen and Oscar Peterson as far as other Canadian musicians. He also says he loves Saisons. Paul says I heard Bryan Adams, and that song came into my head, which is the whatever the everything I do it for you.
Everything I do.
Ryan, Beer by the Numbers, said pineapple adjuncts he thinks is probably going to be popular this year, which there's a lot of pineapple adjunct beers. A lot of them. Oberon Paul is throwing up, so he doesn't like Oberon.
I'm not an Oberon fan at all.
Yep. Back was talking to Ryan. Paul said, I had a Kolsch in Bonn, Germany on a hot day. That was very nice. Yeah, Kolsch's, I think Rod's right. Kolsch's are, I'd say, underappreciated, especially good ones. Real police talk. Welcome. He says millennials will grow up eventually. I don't know, Todd. I don't know if you're going to grow up, Todd, at some point, maybe.
Eventually, they'll grow up. They'll grow up and they'll grow out.
Todd Frozen. Todd looks like he's buzzed and frozen on my screen.
Todd, yeah, he does. He is frozen. Looks like.
Yeah, he is frozen.
Todd, maybe a few too many high west victory at seas, buddy.
It's a heck of an image, though.
Should fucking screen cap because that was. Oh, Todd, you had the best screen cap.
Maybe he's going down on Jeter now.
Yeah, Todd, you going down on Jeter.
You missed that one, Eric.
Paul says Imperial Stout with bourbon, always a good cocktail. Billy then says, mixed cocktail with beer since, as you said, the 21 to 25 age group likes mixed drinks.
Yeah.
Sweet, taste, strong, hence the popularity of FMB's flavored malt beverages. Paul says Germany was nuts on beer cocktails when I was there 3 years ago. Wouldn't be surprised if we're behind the time for sure. Paul also says hashtag Todd the Millennial, which we've already discussed here and confirmed.
We've already discussed that, Paul.
Earth says,
I haven't heard that for a while.
It's been a while there, right?
It has been. Thanks, Paul.
I said it first, Todd, but you were frozen like you were going down on Derek Jeter, according to Rod, not me. That was what Rod said. It was fantastic, though. You were like all you. It's frozen. Earth says,
I don't know what the hell happened.
Nah, it's Google Plus. What you can do, right? It's YouTube ad. It's fine. It's Google. Terrible. Earth says probably more hoppy lagers and IPLs. Talking about popular this year. When Eric started talking about the solid gold, Paul said, "What do you say here? Hashtag shut up lager boy."
Shut up lager boy.
Hey,
that's not nice.
Bring it.
Yeah, he likes his Miller Lite. Leave him alone. He also says IPLs for the win. He enjoys it. And then Tyler, like I said, Tyler said solid gold had a better hop taste, but yes, Joe, not worth it on a regular basis. I'd agree. Eric Gilbert says High Life, baby, champagne of beers all day, every day.
I do like me some High Life too.
I'd like High Life. I even like Coors Banquet. If I'm going to go for a macro, those are probably my two beers I'd go with. Backwoods Billy says I agree with Joe about lager style. Well, that's first someone agreeing with me. That's fantastic. Man, it feels good. It feels good. I've never experienced this before. I don't know how to react. Paul says a person could go out on the town to find a beautiful, classy lady and wine and dine her. Or you could just save the money and take your sister to McDonald's. Oh well, it's all the same, right? Paul, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Like, I don't even begin to understand what you're talking about. I don't even know what you're referencing.
It's Paul. It's Paul.
Yeah, probably the loggers, but like, I'm done. Tyler says, yeah, save money, Paul. Yeah, I guess that's what he's getting at. But I love how Paul words everything very nicely. Yeah.
Paul is quite the wordsmith.
Yeah, Billy says Beck 16-ounce can, $1.20, no adjunct ingredients, and some adjunct beers are being brewed by craft brewery companies. Cannot see paying a premium from them. I mean, the Solid Gold from Founders is brewed with corn. It is, and they tell you like it is brewed with corn. So it's an adjunct lager, but it's made by a craft brewery that's not a craft brewery, according to Rod and the Latin Brew Association. But whatever.
Well, not really. It's just a Brewers. If you're following a Brewers Association definition,
no one follows the Brewers Association. They just make shit up on the fly. Ever since they allowed Sam Adams to stay a craft brewery, I don't trust those bastards.
I'm not saying you gotta follow it or believe it. I'm just saying that's what they say.
Mm-hmm. Earth said, anyone see the collaboration between Ballast Point and Pirate Life Brewing Company, Pale Ale? I've never heard of Pirate Life Brewing Company.
Collaboration.
Nope.
Is that something local, Earth? Is Pirate Life...
Has Earth had it? Has he...
Yeah. Earth, we need all the details this instant, right now. Paul said micro versus macro lagers, and that was he was talking, his reference to the wine and dining at McDonald's. And he said that was a PG-13 comment to help keep it professional around here. That went out the window a long time ago when I went with fuck it, figure it out on your own when Ballast Point puts a date stamp guide on their website because they can't just put the date on their bottle. About to go into like a 30-minute tirade like we're Greg from Greg's Beer Reviews. No, we're not going to do that. Put a date on the bottle, guys. No, we can't.
Where is the date?
Where is it, baby? I was going to give this a 9 out of 10, but now I'll give it a negative 9 out of 10 because it doesn't have a bottle on it. Earth says, I just found out about it. No, with Pirate Life Brewing Company, is that another California brewery, or is it? Because I've never heard of Pirate Life Brewing Company. Any of you guys?
I have not.
Might be something local.
That's what I was thinking. And that's all we actually have for comments. We've caught up.
There's a lot of comments tonight. That's good. I like it.
Paul says, what chaps your ass, Joe? Listen, no more Greg comments. We're good. I do have Comcast internet cable too, Paul.
Stinky cheese.
Baby, that would pair with maybe a smoked Gouda of the Gorgonzolas.
What you doing over there, Rod? Chatting with your Twitter buddy?
Yeah.
The phones are lighting up. I'm trying to respond back, but
I don't think I've ever seen 15 people watching us at once, but they're totally happened tonight. So thank you for everyone for tuning in to this shit show of a show that's
fantastic. March Madness tonight either. So.
Yeah, thank you and sorry.
The Flamin' Lips. Have you guys heard of them before?
Oh yeah.
So they got a beer. They got a beer.
Around?
The Flamin' Lips.
Don't you remember the song, that popular song there in the 90s? What was it? Was it She Don't Like Jelly? I don't think that was the name of it, but it was the lyric was She Don't Like Jelly or any of these. I'm sure someone in the comments will be like, Flaming Lips, best fucking band ever, which they might be. But I've heard like 3 of the songs, and they're probably awesome.
Joe, we need to settle down.
All right, sorry.
Simmer down.
Let's bring it down a notch. Right?
Well, they're actually working with Dogfish Head, which will be a backyard's Billy backyard.
She don't use jelly, Joe. She don't use jelly.
Or any of these.
They got a beer coming out with Dogfish Head called Dragons and Yum Yums. So interesting.
Dragons and Yum Yums?
That's the name of the beer. Dragons and Yum Yums.
Dragons and Yum Yums.
You're using like the Yum Yums, the suckers?
It is a pink brew with a tropical pale ale with flavors of pear, passion fruit, dragon fruit, yum berry, and black carrot juice.
These motherfuckers never had no dragon fruit. Get out of here.
I didn't even know.
They see that shit in the thing.
I never heard carrot juice. I don't know. I mean, a dragon fruit I've had, passion fruit and pear, but I don't know. They're just making shit up. I think.
Most people who start talking about dragon fruits, you're like, that's that fruit where you're in the grocery aisle and you're like,
that on Game of Thrones, man.
No, I'm saying, I've had it before, but most people are like, it tastes like dragon fruit. I'm like, you see that fruit in the aisle and you're like, I'm not eating that.
That's the worst looking fruit ever. It's terrible looking.
Yeah.
And apparently in 2010, which this does sound interesting, they did a re-recording of Dark Side of the Moon with Henry Rollins and Peaches on vocals. I don't know who Peaches is, but Henry Rollins on vocals be kind of interesting. I used to always like Rollins band.
Because I'm a liar. Yeah. How do you? So Paul's referencing another '90s song. I don't know if you guys remember Dead-Eye. I think it was Dead-Eye Dick, New Age Girl.
I do.
She don't like me, but she sure like the bone. Yeah, that's that's fantastic.
I think it's the second time this week I've heard that song somewhere.
Yeah, you were brought it up. Yeah, you were brought it up on another chat we were in. But yeah, I mean, I've listened to it a couple times in the last since he mentioned it. And I was like, I remember the song, but I haven't probably heard it in like 15 years. So
yeah, so that could be kind of an interesting beer. That might be a nice little summer beer too.
Oh yeah, it sounds like something like.
I mean, what if you find Yumberry? I mean, even
Well, and the cool thing about Dogfish Head is they do a lot of collabs. They did one with Pearl Jam, the Miles Davis Bitches Brew. They've done a lot with musicians too. So most of the musicians are super popular. Like I think most people know who the Flaming Lips are and probably remember the She Don't Like Jelly song. But like outside of that, you're probably really into them or you just know that song. So it's curious for them. But I'd imagine someone at Dogfish Head really likes the Flaming Lips, probably Sam. He's probably like, yo, my favorite band. We're totally going to do a beer together.
Yeah. So you want to get into Ballast Point?
Holy shit. It's been like an hour and a half. Forgot about that.
He didn't really mention. We talked about drinking it earlier, but we never got into the breakdown of Ballast Point.
Yeah. I'll read the comments real quick. Then we'll go into.
We've had a great time.
No, it's been great. Earth said the Pirate Life Brewery is an Australian brewery, so cool. That's cool to know. Cool collab. The only other Australian brewery I know is I think 8 Wired. I think is the other one. Tyler says the Bucks are on TNT tonight. I assume he means Milwaukee Bucks. Paul says Mary Mo, she's a vegetarian, so he's singing the fucking songs. Okay. Let's see. Backwards Billy says Dogfish Head. Yes, near us. We are between them and Black Narrows Brewing Company. Paul said my kids have been eating the shit out of dragon fruit. That's cool. Yeah, you would buy dragon fruit, Paul. Like you totally look like a dude.
Paul tells him it's dragon fruit.
Yeah. Tells him it's dragon fruit. You can tell all your friends at school you're eating dragon fruit. Eric says that isn't beer, referencing the Dogfish Head beer. He says that's a breakfast shake. Fair enough. And then Billy says, last comment before I'll go to the Ballast Point, he says Dogfish Head is on the cutting edge with marketing. And I think they're pretty damn good with it, no doubt.
There's a neat looking label stuff they got on that one too. So
they always do the whole package between the marketing, the label, the back, the history on it, and everything. It always gets you kind of psyched to try it. Always curious, like, oh, that sounds cool. I'd like to try it,
But they're definitely more above the sophomore level of some of the other brewers out there.
Oh, no doubt. Like Hoof-Hearted?
Yeah. Or Against the Grain.
Or Against the Grain and Brown Note. Fantastic. All right. Well, all right. Ballast Point. Yeah, Ballast Point. Whatever. They're a brand beer that's.
Don't start slacking off because you're starting your show Sunday. You finished strong, son.
Yeah.
I'm not getting paid for this. So Ballast Point was originally thought of in 1992 by Jack White. No, not the musician, but Jack White. He was a home brewer, and there was no homebrew supply stores back in the early 90s in San Diego. So he decided to start his own called Home Brew Mart. And that was in 1992. Him and a guy that ended up being his college roommate, and they decided to start this home brew mart. And they started brewing beer in their in his friend Peter Hearn's apartment, and they just couldn't get enough supplies, more or less. So they started the homebrew supply store. And what ended up happening is his friend actually ended up basically going to University of California, and he got a master brewer certificate, and he became the founding brewmaster of Ballast Point, which they started 4 years after Home Brew Mart started. So they started the Home Brew Mart in 92, 96, Ballast Point actually became official. But after a year, the guy who he started with actually ended up leaving, and they hired the first ever what they called employee of Home Brew Mart, Yusuf Cherny, and he became the head brewmaster of what became Ballast Point Brewing Company. They actually started out just brewing stuff locally in the back of the home brew mart store. So that's how they started, was just in the back of the store. But within 8 years, they actually had outgrown the backroom location, and they moved into a production facility in Scripps Ranch, California. And then 9 years later, they actually added a third location, which was a brewery, tasting room, and restaurant in San Diego's Little Italy neighborhood, which functions as the company's laboratory for research and development currently. And by the end of that year, again, they opened that location in that year. By the end of that year, they actually had already outgrown the original location. They opened in 2004, and they, in 2014, finished construction on a 107,000 square foot brewery in Miramar area, equipped to support the brewery's growth, which obviously since 96 to 2014 was pretty significant. They actually acquired 2 large copper kettles that they discovered in a brewery in Lord, Germany. So shout out to Paul, because he's all about Germany. That are the centerpiece of that brewery, the new brewery headquarters in 2014 to 2018. So it's not really new anymore. They have a state-of-the-art laboratory, tasting bar, and everything. In 2008, in addition to the brewery, they opened up Ballast Point Spirits, which I don't know if any of you guys ever tried any Ballast Point Spirits. I think you can buy them online.
No, I've seen it, but I haven't seen them anywhere around here. But if I had to go online and get them.
Yeah, they the first spirit they actually produced was a gin called Old Groove Gin. They actually brew 14 spirits, as well as 2 cocktail mixers, Bloody Mary and Mai Tai. The aforementioned Jack White, who founded the brewery, served as the CEO from the inception in 92 until 2015. 2012, another guy, Jim Bushler, became the company's president and general manager. And in 2015, he became the president and CEO, leaving White with just the title of founder, which I guess is a cool title. And then Cherny, who took over as brewmaster back in the, like 93, actually became the company's chief operations officer and continued to be head brewer. And everybody knows, but in October of 2015, they were acquired. Actually, they started being acquired by Constellation in October, but it actually happened in 2015. Or December of 2015 officially. Constellation actually bought them and the spirits for $1 billion, which I think is the biggest as far as acquiring breweries. I think that's the highest payment, highest amount to this day. And then, but only 8 months later, 4 of the founders of the company, including Jack White, the head brewer and chief operating officer, Yusuf Cherny, and the CEO Bushler left the company to, quote, pursue other interests. AKA, they got their money and they were like, I'm out. We're going to go do something else. They named a new president and blah, blah, blah. No one cares. And then in June of 2017, they actually opened up an East Coast brewery, which so many West Coast breweries have done to date, in Daleville, Virginia. They finally started producing beer in September 2017, so just 6 months ago. And the first beer that they actually produced, the first keg, was of grapefruit sculpin, and it went to the Virginia governor, Terry McAuliffe, in Richmond, Virginia, for some reason. Yeah, that's kind of weak. That's kind of weak. Yeah. Probably help them get into Virginia, I'd imagine.
Well, you got to buy a politician once in a while.
That's true, and that's what they did. Awards, they've won a bunch of awards, but no one cares because they're all subjective. Like, there's just, all these, it's crazy how many awards they list here, but like, I don't want to read them because whatever. They've won awards, like great, like Sculpin, Victory at Sea, they've all won awards.
Yeah, they're critically acclaimed.
Yeah, they've. I mean, here's the thing: they are no longer craft, technically, according to the Brewers Association, but they've made good beer since '96, and they've definitely won their fair share of awards because they are a good brewery, and they were a great brewery, I thought. But yeah, so that's pretty much it on the background. As far as the beers go, they have a lot of beers. I'm going to run through them real quickly, not talk anything about them other than the names. So they have Manta Ray Double IPA, which Rod was drinking tonight. These are all year-round beers. Bonita Blondale.
Blondale, you got to put me on.
By the way, food pairing.
That one.
By the way, food pairings: grilled ham, chicken pot pie, and lemon tart. No, I don't care.
Okay, Greg, settle down.
Yeah, it's hanging. Now, listen, Sea Rose tart cherry wheat ale. Gonna pair that with brie with green apple. Maybe some Gagadola as well. Unfiltered Sculpin, which is their so-called extra hopped IPA that is unfiltered to some degree. Fathom IPA, which is another IPA that they have. Pineapple Sculpin, another variant of regular Sculpin brewed with pineapple. Watermelon Dorado, which is their double IPA with watermelon, which I will say I didn't like that beer. I thought it tasted like Jolly Rancher watermelon in an IPA. It wasn't for me. No one cares. Mango Even Kill, which is their session IPA, which is just called Even Kill, brewed with mango. Regular Sculpin, which I would say Sculpin is probably their flagship. I would imagine, that's probably their flagship. Grapefruit Sculpin, which I think was the first variant of Sculpin release, which is brewed with grapefruit. California Kolsch. We had talked about Kolsch's tonight. Did anyone have the California Kolsch from Ballast Point?
I've seen that around, but I didn't buy it, but I've seen it around.
I have not.
Yeah, me either. The California Amber, which is an ESB, extra strong bitter, inspired ale. I've actually had that one before. It's pretty solid. Habanero Sculpin, which is the base Sculpin with habanero peppers. Even Kill, which is the aforementioned one what they did with mango. This is the base, just a session IPA. Longfin Lager, which I've never seen. I know it, I've heard of it, but I've never seen it on my shelves ever. You guys ever seen Longfin Lager?
I've not seen that one.
They call it a classic German style beer.
No,
I don't know if that's basically a Pilsner, but they don't call it Pilsner. They just say lager. I don't know what exactly the style is. Oh, it's a Helles. Never mind. It's a Helles lager. Wahoo White, which is a wit beer. Grunion Pale Ale, which I've had before and I do enjoy. I think it's good. Big Eye Pale Ale. Big Al India Pale Ale. One thing you'll notice about Ballast Point is they have a lot of IPAs. Like a lot. And this isn't like something new. Like they've had these for a long time, which they have to be one of the oldest breweries that just have this many IPAs. You know what I mean? There's so many. Dorado, double IPA, the one with watermelon that they have the base.
I was not pleased with Dorado, I'll tell you that up front.
You didn't like that?
I didn't think it was great at all.
Yeah, I don't remember having it, but I had to have it at some point, right? I would think so. I mean, I paired it with pineapple pound cake. No, I
It
didn't.
was just too, I don't know, it was watermelon was tricky as it is, but it was are you talking about a regular Dorado or watermelon Dorado?
I'm talking about I had the watermelon. I hate it.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it tasted like Jolly Rancher watermelon with an IPA, and I was just like, this is fake and not for me. The regular one I think I had and I enjoyed, but I don't remember because there's so many IPAs they make. Their Piper Down Scottish Ale, which Eric mentioned earlier. I never did have it. I do like Scotch ales though. Black Marlin Porter, which I've had. I thought that was pretty good. English style pour. Their Indra Canutra, which is a
Doria Regato, Mr. Roboto?
it was an export stout made with curry, cumin, cayenne pepper, coconut, and kaffir lime leaves. Which that sounds crazy, but I've had a couple people I know have had it, and they said it was really tasty. But I could also imagine that not being that great.
Yeah.
Ballast Point Victory at Sea, which I think is probably one of the better, if not the better, year-round beers they have. Right, the base of what everyone's drinking except for Rod tonight, which is their Imperial Porter with coffee and vanilla. Great beer, and it pairs perfectly with German chocolate cake. Tongue Buckler Imperial Red Ale. I've seen it, never bought it. Any of you guys?
Nope.
No, I've not had that one.
I'm not sure I've even seen it before.
No, I want to. I did see it. Yeah, I definitely did. I did not purchase it.
I don't think
Imperial
I've
Red
seen
Ales.
it in Michigan.
Imperial Red Ales. I don't think any of us probably are like, yo, let's get into that right now because.
Hey, I like me some red ales.
No, I do, but
Nosferatu, that's a red ale, Imperial Red Ale.
yeah. But that's a great one, man.
That's a great one, yeah.
It is. Their limited releases, which is like they're rotating here and there. Their Mocha Marlin, which is their Black Marlin Porter.
I've had the Mocha Marlin before.
It's brewed with coffee and chocolate, clearly.
Yeah.
Okay. Their Red Velvet, which I've had. I know a couple other people have had here. So they take an oatmeal stout and they basically put beets in it and they try to make it taste like a red velvet cake. They nitro the bottle and it totally doesn't for me. Like it didn't. I didn't care for it. I'm sure some people did, but yeah, it was gross. Their Tart Peach Kolsch, I've had that. It was actually pretty good. Ooh. I would say like that beer. So right there, we were talking about summer beers, right? Or spring, summer, Tart Peach Kolsch. Definitely.
Spot. All right.
100%. It was perfect. I've seen this beer. There's Sour Wench Blackberry Ale. I've definitely seen that. It's a Berliner Weiss with Oregon blackberries. So I've not bought it, though. That actually sounds like one that I'd probably be into. Their High West barrel-aged Victory at Sea. I've never had it, even though it's in front of me. Didn't drink it. I would say
for me. I have it here.
It's. I don't know what Eric and Todd. What did you guys think about tonight? If I had to rate it on tap, I'm going to give this like a 4 or 5 probably. I love it
all day. I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably give it about a 4.
Jesus Christ, Eric!
Hey, I didn't think the rye and the bourbon mixed.
Not enough corn in it. Not enough corn in it.
I didn't think the bourbon and the rye mixed well together. That's the only thing. If they would have done it just bourbon or just rye, it would have been awesome. But both, not really.
What Eric's saying is it's good, but it's no Miller Lite.
Exactly.
It's not MGD good. It's not MGD good.
MGD good.
God, I can't stand MGD. Don't even get me going on that, Todd.
Baby, don't put words in his mouth there, Todd. Come on now, baby.
That was a low blow. That was a low blow.
Cold filter for life.
No.
He almost said that with a straight face. Almost.
Another limited beer, which apparently I want to say Eric's had it. Rod has it in the basement. It's the peanut butter Victory at Sea.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's really good.
And then
there that one. I want it, but I've not had it.
Yeah, I haven't tried it either. There's so many. It's kind of it's funny because they've taken their 2 top beers, Sculpin and Victory at Sea, and they just vary the shit out of them. They're just like, we'll just all different kinds of stuff and see what happens. Aloha Sculpin, which Bub was drinking tonight. I have not. I will probably pick it up because I am curious to see.
Bum seemed to enjoy it too.
Yep, he did enjoy it. This was another one I really did dig. Their Calm Before the Storm, which was the cream ale with coffee and vanilla. It was really tasty when I had it like 3 years ago. I thought it was quite good. It almost had like a coffee drink type of vibe, it was good, but the one thing about it is that it was expensive. It was like $3.50 and it was a cream ale. I know it has coffee and vanilla in it, but geez, it's a cream ale. I'll go get me some Jenny cream ale for like 37 cents a can. They're pumpkin down. So this is their Scottish ale, which is their Piper down, but brewed with pumpkin, which that actually sounds really cool because I don't think I've seen too many Scottish ales with pumpkin. Like you've seen a lot of different pumpkin in a lot of different styles, but Scotch ale?
Like pineapple pizza.
Yeah, okay, we're not going there. We're not going there, Rod. We're gonna have a lot of
pineapple on pizza should not ever mix.
Comments. This is not ideal.
You can't have a Hawaiian pizza without pineapple.
Okay, Dead Ringer Oktoberfest Lager is the next one. There's Sea Monster Imperial Stout, which is pretty fantastic. I like that beer.
Has anyone had their Oktoberfest?
No, the one, no, the Dead Ringer. No, never.
It's okay.
I've seen it, but I've never got it.
I'd imagine it's probably pretty decent. Coconut.
It's not my favorite Marzahn, but it's not bad.
No. Coconut Victory at Sea, which
very good.
I haven't had it. I just have. That's it's Ballast.
I'm a fan.
It's bad like coconut.
Cincinnati Beer Fest.
No to the coconut. No to the coconut.
No, Eric, zip it, Eric. No, it's one of those things where I'd like to try it, but there's so much beer in this Ballast Point, so.
I don't even know who you are right now. You love Victory. You love Victory at Sea, but you haven't had coconut Victory at Sea.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to ruin it for me. Like I feel like I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Orange Vanilla Fathom, which is their IPL with orange and vanilla to do the whole orange creamsicle.
Creamsicle type.
That sounds like I would like to try that, no doubt.
That'd be a nice summer beer. And
I don't want to say what it pairs with, but now according to the website, baby, it pairs with just your mild blue cheeses like Gorgonzola. It says, baby.
Baby.
It says mild blue cheeses like Gorgonzola. It also says carrot cake. Apparently paired with carrot cake.
Okay.
I mean, I know people eat it, but it's like, do you guys eat carrot cake?
Yeah, dude, I actually
Yeah,
have.
I eat carrot cake. That's a
One of the
bomb.
worst things out there. I just. You eat
See,
carrot
I don't
cake,
like
guys?
pineapple on my,
No.
on my pizza. And he doesn't like carrot cake.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Carrot and cake does not belong in the same sentence.
Right.
You don't really taste the carrot and carrot cake, which makes it not
No, I
really
mean, I
carrot
like it.
cake.
It's okay. I just don't go
I
for
think
it all
carrot
the time.
cake tastes like spice cake.
Yeah,
I don't eat
it's
spice
yeah.
cake either.
Really,
Come
it
on,
does.
you know, we're trying not to get into arguments, fellas. Now, Thai chili wahoo, which is their wit beer with Thai chili and lime, which sounds probably another perfect pairing with like some kind of spicy, like I don't know, Hispanic food. I think it would go with, or something like that. Instead, they say pair it with cantaloupe or honeydew melon because that's what you drink a wit beer with Thai chili and lime. I got totally go for a honeydew melon right now, fellas.
Like, who's the tester on this one?
Yeah, some guy just walked in. I was just eating a cantaloupe, and I was just swigging this beer, and A plus.
And to Eric Gilbert's point, nothing. There's nothing wrong with pineapple on pizza.
I mean,
Yes, there is.
yeah, you eat what you eat. I mean, it's just like beer. Some people like,
Miller Lite.
yeah, some people like Miller Lite, and some people don't.
Hey, no, don't be.
The last of the limited is there again. One thing I'm noticing about Ballast Point, which we've all noticed, but like it's even more obvious here and evident that they love adjuncting and putting all bunch of different fruits and spices into their regular core offerings. They have Ginger Big Eye, which is their Big Eye IPA, obviously brewed with ginger. And it goes perfect with sticky toffee pudding. Who the fuck seriously are doing these food pairings?
Sticky toffee pudding. What the fuck is that?
With a ginger IPA, like were they
Okay?
They might have been.
I wonder if you could do a mix between that and sticky toffee pudding beer though. Can you put like a?
Ooh.
There you go.
Oh,
There you
maybe.
go.
Yeah, maybe.
Does that go under the Victory at Sea or the Sculpin label?
It probably goes down the drain, most likely.
Most likely. Give it to Paul. Paul will drink anything.
Literally. Yeah, he's
As
like,
long as it's 135 degrees.
Paul's like a garbage disposal. Yeah, where everything's super warm or hot or
Give it to Mikey. Mikey will eat anything.
yeah, Mikey likes it. They also have a homework series of beers where I think it's like a homebrew recipe, which they release it and then they put the recipe itself on the website. I don't know if they actually put it on the label. So if you, as a homebrewer, if you want to recreate the beer, you can, which I think is cool. They're up to 8 different in the series. They did a Hefeweizen, a Session Saison, a Robust Porter, Hoppy Belgian style Pale Ale, a Pumpkin Ale, English style IPA, a Belgian style double IPA, and they did a Hoppy Red Ale. So I don't think I've seen any of the homework series in my area at all.
Never seen that. Never heard of it.
Yeah, I don't know if it could be like brewery only type of stuff. I don't know. So other stuff they have a barrel aged. So someone was it who asked? It was Jason Voorhees asked about like what's the popular distilleries for barrels. This isn't going to answer that, but I will say we're drinking Victory at Sea right now, High West, all of us except for Rod, and they have a Heaven Hill bourbon variant. They have a 12-year-old Elijah Craig variant. They have a 3 Sheets rum variant.
Ooh, that'd be really good.
They have a rye whiskey barrel variant. They have a Devil Share single malt whiskey aged variant. They have a bourbon barrel aged Piper Down, the Scotch ale. They have a bourbon barrel aged Reef Rye ale. They have a bourbon barrel aged Tongue Buckler, which is the Imperial Red. They have a bourbon barrel aged version of Black Marlin. They have a bourbon barrel aged Navigator, which was their Doppelbock, which I don't think is a regular offering anymore. They also have a brandy barrel aged version of that Navigator. Brandy barrel aged Doppelbock sounds pretty fantastic, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
They have a bourbon barrel aged Sexton Oatmeal Stout. They have a bourbon barrel aged Sea Monster, which I would love to try. They have a rum barrel aged Sea Monster, which I'd also love to try. They have a regular just bourbon barrel aged Victory at Sea. And as I said before, they did a brewery only one that I had at a share, which was a rum and rye barrel aged Victory at Sea, which is fantastic. They have a couple collaborations, one called East to West, one called West to East. and they've done pepper beers. They've done a pale ale with serrano peppers, a smoked screen lager with jalapenos. They did the Dorado with a whole bunch of other peppers, including dried ghost peppers. It's pretty crazy.
Ghost peppers.
They also did a smoked lager with chipotles. They did their amber ESB. I forgot what the California amber with peppers as well, and they did their black marlin with chipotle, cocoa nibs, and orange peel, which sounds pretty good. And that's pretty much it. They also have a thing that says everything else, which they have some retired beers. I've actually had Barmy. I don't know if you guys ever had Barmy. That was 12%.
Retired Barmy?
Yeah, it's certainly wow. if they were retarded, they certainly not. It's like hard to find. It's like you got to dig for it. So I was not happy with that beer. I don't think it was terrible.
I work with, she really loves that beer. They had it out last year at one of our beer fests.
Maybe it is like here's another one, peppermint Victory at Sea. I've actually had the peppermint variety, and I didn't think it was gross. I thought it would be like brushing your teeth and then drinking an imperial stout, and it was actually quite a bit better than that. It was actually very tasty. They have the Commodore, which is their American stout, which they got rid of.
Yeah.
Let's see if there's any other here that I recognize. A lot of these seem to be like brewery only.
Well, you mentioned that tongue buckler. I've had that before. That was really good.
That was the Imperial Red, yeah. The Navigator Doppelbox, the only other one that I recognize that was, I think, packaged at one point or definitely available, and that I think they kind of, I don't know if they retired or just make it like I won't even say rotating release, but it's like a specialty release. So, but anyway, that's it for all their beers, and there's a lot of them clearly, and a lot of variants and all that stuff. So that's Ballast Point. I guess we'll do the personal stuff real quick, but we'll just wrap it into individual. So we'll go to Eric first because he's on his phone, and I want to make him get off his phone. All right. So
what are you saying, Joe? What are you saying? Huh?
What was your first experience with Ballast Point, Eric?
Oh, God.
Now hang on. There's more. What was your first experience? Well, and by first experience, basically, what beer did you have first? And then your overall feelings on them, and we'll rate it out of 5. We'll go right into the ratings because you guys do anyway. So right into the ratings out of 5 as a brewery. So first experience with them, and then your overall feelings and ratings on them.
God, my first experience with Ballast Point. I don't even think I can remember my first experience with Ballast Point. To be honest, I mean, I'm trying to think here, and I can't remember my first experience with them. It wasn't this one. I know that it wasn't the High West Victory at Sea. It was some other one. Yeah, I really can't remember what my first experience with it was, but I mean, for what I've had, this one is, 4 out of 5. The rye and the bourbon just doesn't do it for me. I really haven't had enough for the beers to give them a rating, Joe. I'm gonna be honest. I really can't rate them because I've only had maybe 2 probably, and I can't remember what the other one was.
That's fair. I got. So you had the peanut butter one, which you liked.
Yeah, the peanut butter one. Yeah, I haven't had enough of their beers to give them a fair rating, so I'm not even going to give them one.
Eric's rating is NA, but he has enjoyed the beers he's had, so at least that's the way to look for. How about you, Rod? First experience with them and your overall feelings on them.
The first one I had with them was actually the Sculpin, which is, like I said, decent beer, but I didn't realize I was looking back to my Untapped stuff. I actually seem to like the grapefruit Sculpin more than the regular Sculpin, which I had this regular Sculpin back in 2014, and grapefruit I had after that point. So both of them are pretty decent beers. Overall, I think with them, it's an up and down for me. Not anything down as low, but I've had some of their beers I've rated as low as a 2.5 out of 5. And I've had their highest ones I've rated at 4.75. So I tried different things with them. I think with them also the price point, I think some of their stuff is overpriced for what you actually get versus some of the other beers out there. I think their costs are a little bit more than they need to be. If you look at some of their stuff, say for instance, if you look when they had some of their stouts versus some of the Lagunitas stuff, or, some of their stuff priced now for some of the Evil Twin. I think Evil Twin gives you a little bit more than what Ballast Point actually does. So I think with them, they're overinflated there, but you get the right beer, you're happy. I just did the video I mentioned earlier where I mentioned Victory at Sea being my favorite double Imperial Porter out there. So that carries some weight with them. But as far as how I would rate them out, for me, they're probably down about a 3.75. There's not enough. They're top heavy, kind of like Stormy Daniels. But
Jesus Christ.
Nice.
Hey, there ain't nothing wrong with Stormy Daniels, all right? I'm here to say.
and probably at this point they're probably overplayed like her too. So I don't know. So
Oh my Lord.
Stormy, if you're watching this video, call me, all right?
Rod's done. Stormy Daniels. I just she's the hot news thing out there.
Stormy, if you're watching this video, call me, okay?
No, Stormy, if you're watching this video and I say this knowing what's going on, what the hell are you doing with your life? That's what I would say.
Hey, she can come be in my life. It don't matter to me.
Eric, you got to drink some more Ballast Point beers, and then she'll come in your life in more ways than one, if you know what I mean.
I think if you get the right beer, you're very pleased. But if you get one of those ones you don't agree with, you're gonna be disappointed. You look at something like the Red Velvet. I thought was horrible. I think the best thing about it was the label.
Yeah, gross.
So it's, you pick carefully or whatever, but
hit and miss, inconsistent.
Yeah, I think they have a little bit more hits than misses, but you do have that chance of striking out with them.
When they strike out, they certainly strike out. They strike out 0 for 4 with all strikeouts. Yeah, they're terrible when they do that. How about you, Todd? First experience, rating, overall thoughts?
First experience was just the regular sculpin. I was very excited when Ballast Point hit distribution here, and then it quickly kind of went away for me. I'd put them probably in about the 375 range as well. Part of me wants to even dip a little bit lower because of their price point, kind of like Rod mentioned.
Yeah,
I just think there's a lot better stuff out there that you can get more bang for your buck than what you get with Ballast Point. For me, their best beers, I think, is the regular Sculpin, and then their Victory at Sea, and the variants of the Victory at Sea that I've had have been very good. So, yeah, 375. Lower your prices, Ballast Point, if you're listening. Lower your prices.
They're not listening, but if they are, lower the shit out of your fucking prices, please. All of us would agree with this.
You're with the big boys now.
Yeah. You have $1 billion. Just settle down. I agree with you guys. The first beer I had was the Sculpin. I mean, I'm pretty sure I had Sculpin. And then I think the second beer I had was an old bottle. It was like a 2011, 2012 of Victory at Sea. And it was awesome. And that's when I first loved the beer. I think I like regular Sculpin better than grapefruit. I know you said you're the opposite, Rod. I like grapefruit, but it had like the nose. It was a bit sweeter than I anticipated. You know, it kind of gave me like a Radler vibe to it. Not that sweet, but you know what I mean? It just didn't feel like 100% authentic grapefruit in there. So I felt like they had like sweetened grapefruit juice with it. But I'm with you guys. They're very inconsistent. The beers that I really dislike. Right. The beers I really love. They do have some middle ground beers, but more often than not, they're just like all over the place. I would give them a 4 out of 5, except, and I don't usually do this because I usually just rate beers and breweries on their merits, aka how good the beer is. But I will knock it down to 375 like you guys because of the price point. Like, it's in this day and age to be a craft brewery that has been bought out and whatnot, to not lower your prices and seemingly raise them or keep them the same when you're already overpriced as it is, kind of ridiculous in my point. Like, they should be more in like the $12 to $14 range for their 6 packs of Sculpin. It shouldn't be $16, $17, $18. And you see that with almost every one of their releases. I was surprised at this High West Victory at Sea being $3.99 a bottle and $15 a 4-pack, because that's what I'd expect from a brewery like that. Like, I would expect them to have a good price point, but they're so inconsistent in their beers, but they're inconsistent in their pricing as well. This beer for a 4-pack should not cost less than a 6-pack of Sculpin. It just shouldn't, but it does. Right. So yeah. I don't know what the hell they're doing. Maybe they're turning the corner. Maybe at some point we'll see cheaper Sculpin and cheaper variants and stuff. But I mean, even their bombers, like a normal bomber of a like a peppermint or coconut or peanut butter Victory at Sea is like $10 here. And I've already talked about how much of a ripoff bombers are, and that's tough to pay when there's so many good beers available.
Yep, you're right. Yep.
So yeah. I think if they had better price point, they would definitely be in the 4 range for me. But 375 as we speak, I think we would all agree they're a good brewery that does good stuff, but they also have a tendency to really make some misses. But their price point is where we would all like to see them get a bit better, because I think being bought out and where they are, they should be. So
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even when they have some of the extra, variant type things, you really have to think twice about whether you want to buy it or not, because they are kind of up and down, hit and miss. do you want to pay that money for something that you may or may not like? You're not really, you know.
Exactly, Joe.
And the market, yeah, the market's tough now. Like it's a fight to get shelf space, to just be able to get the consumer to buy you. Your label has to stick out, the ingredients you're using, the styles, and all that stuff. And when you see that price, a lot of people shy away from them because you want your money to go to something that you think you might enjoy at the very least, if not, you'll enjoy. So I think that's where they kind of lose some of the consumers. As far as comments go, we had a few. We had Dogfish Head from Billy says Dogfish Head blows anything away in your area, Eric.
Oh, I'm sure it does.
Oh, you guys said, I think he was talking to Eric Gilbert though at the time.
Oh, okay. Well, a little bit of beef here in the comments.
Well, Eric said about the Dogfish Head beer wasn't beer or whatever.
I like the 90-minute, but we're talking about Ballast Point, so I don't want to get off too far.
I'll just say this with Dogfish Head. I like a lot of their beers, but like I'll compare them to Ballast Point, and there's a lot of misses from them that they go outside the box and they try to brew weird ingredients, and sometimes the stuff just sucks. It does.
I've had some of the Dogfish IPAs and stuff, but they're not touching, man. They're not touching Boss Tweed.
No, they're not.
They're not touching. So it's not. It can't be.
All right, I'm 43.
Tweed, man, I'm like, holy.
I think I like to see. I like the 43 better.
Different type of IPA than what Dogfish usually puts.
Dude, I had it at the brewery, and I'm driving back home. I'm like, dude, should I really be driving back home? I honestly thought about pulling over.
Did you give yourself
He's in the bar getting himself his own speech.
Yeah, he's looking at his rear view himself, going, "Now, guys, if you're gonna drink, don't drive."
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was actually really thinking that. I'm like, dude, should I really be driving back home after one? And that was one, and I wasn't sucking it down. But
no, I think you're all right.
9.3.
Yeah, you're a big guy.
If you're not eating it, you've been drained or you're tired or whatever. Yeah, it can definitely hit you.
Well, yeah, I was a little tired. I was.
So yeah, we got a little beef between Billy and Eric Gilbert. Apparently, I didn't think it was beef, but apparently it could be. Paul says Ballast Point 2013 Sea Monster Imperial Stout was fantastic, and I'd agree with him. It's a great beer. Earth says, does anyone like Indra Conundra, the curry export stout? I mentioned it. I've never had it. Like I haven't had it either. I haven't seen it locally. I knew it existed, but I've never seen it locally. He also continues with he had their fugu vodka infused cheesecake with sriracha cream sauce. Best shit ever, he says.
That's on you.
And he also said it was topped with a gooseberry. I've never had a gooseberry.
That's on you too.
Have any of us had a gooseberry? I don't think any of us had a gooseberry.
But I'm gonna trust Earth on this one. Pretty freaking good.
And then he says, and some of your more pungent cheeses, baby. Yeah, maybe some gorgonzola. Tyler says he just poured KBS. He said KBS is the first beer that was comparable to Central Waters Bourbon Barrel Aged Stout. So initial impression, high. He said this is a big beer, 12.3%.
I told you, man. I told you.
Central Waters stout, barrel aged stout is fantastic.
Oh, it is. They're all their barrel aged shit. I think it's fucking really good.
Apparently, got three
at a pretty good price point. Ballast Point. God damn it.
Yeah. Settle down. We're done with that. We don't want Ballast Point to sue us.
Apparently, I got 3 victory this season of cellar. I have the High West, the peanut butter, and the regular. Did I know?
Rod, what was your total purchase point on those?
$2.73.
I can't even remember.
Yeah, 99 cents.
I still need a review on the rum barrel beer. I said, Joe, did you drink the rum barrel beer I sent you?
No, I haven't had
Spanish one.
No, I haven't had any of the Spanish ones.
Oh, they're good.
Are they?
Oh man, those things are so good. Son of
a bitch.
Well, you got
the
I'm gonna drink them. But,
what'd you say, Eric?
Was that the Multivita ones?
Yeah, the Multivita. I gotta do the reviews.
Oh, dude, that brandy was.
The Vida,
baby, that was so awesome.
It's from Cerveza, blah blah blah. I don't even know what it is from.
Especially for $1.99.
I'm pulling off the fucking price like $1.99. Like why? Why you left him on there on purpose, didn't you, Ron?
You did. You did leave him there. on purpose.
Salt in the wound. Salt in the wound.
Off of it. I mean, you know,
Son of a bitch.
the legend is real.
No
Oh,
doubt.
it's real, all right. That's all. That's all for comments. We had Eric Gilbert say what's wrong with pineapple on pizza that I think Rod already read. So we're down to 5 people, but I appreciate everybody watching. I would name you individually, but there's way too many people. So just thank you, everybody.
Great turnout tonight, and appreciate everybody watching. And
Earth, Tyler, Paul, Backwoods.
We said we weren't naming them individually. God damn it, Eric. Well, if we want to, it's Jason, it's Chris, it's Billy, it's Bum, it's Ashley, it's who else we have? Paul, as you said, Bart, Eric, Gilbert, Beer by Numbers, Ryan. He was here as well.
Tyler.
Yeah, Tyler. Tyler was here, and then who showed up later? There was Earth. Earth showed up as well.
yeah,
And Jamie, Basement Beer Reviews. There's a lot of people. Jesus Christ. Dan, Booze Reviews. There's like 12 people here. A lot of people.
we missed a comment because it moderated for me. But Moosehead, Pale Ale, OV, or High Life are my go-to brews," said Eric Gilbert.
Oh, sweet. Oh, yeah.
I can't get into Moosehead.
He also said, Moosehead's it's kind of Heineken-ish. Eric said, never had a Dogfish Head. And there's a lot of good breweries around Toronto, and I love beef. LOL. That's right. This is the 90s. You're Tupac, he's Biggie. Let's see what happens.
It's more like, what was the movie of Rick Moranis? Like going against Canada on beer?
Yeah.
What was the name of that movie? Was it John Candy that too?
Was it Strange Brew things you're talking
Strange
about?
Brew, yeah.
Strange Brew. I'm saying Strange.
Brew.
I'm saying Strange Brew. I'm saying Strange Bruisings because Taku Murray, our buddy, his YouTube channel was Strange Bruisings. So I was just thinking about that. But yeah, Strange Brews. Yeah, it's a fantastic movie.
Little American Canadian war.
Yeah. or our Canadian Bacon with John Candy. Is that another one you're talking about? Canadian Bacon?
The one with John Candy?
Yeah, that was the one. So I was thinking about the old 80s Strange Brew, but you're talking about.
I was talking about I was thinking about Strange Brew myself.
Yeah, but
and everything they start fighting.
Canadian Bacon is the one where they think the Canadians are starting war with Americans. You got John Candy,
right?
And what you call it from Cheers, oh my God, why can't I?
Rhea Perlman?
Rhea Perlman.
Yeah,
and that's a fantastic movie. That's great times. Canadian Bacon.
So next week we'll come up with something else to check out.
Miller Lite.
No, never. And on a scale of 1 to never, no way in hell it's ever happening.
Miller Coors, why not?
We'd have to do Miller Coors, right?
Miller Coors, right? Yeah, MGD or Miller Lite.
Yo,
Miller High Life.
Yo, I feel myself getting sick, boys.
We haven't done Great Lakes yet. That could be another one. So.
Didn't we?
Yeah, are you sure we didn't do Great Lakes? I thought we did.
Yeah. Look at the titles. Did we do Great Lakes?
I'm pretty sure we did. I bought Emmett Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
We could do Deschutes.
I don't get to shoot.
He doesn't get to shoot.
Now, Hank.
You don't get Deschutes, Rod?
No, I do. Joe does it.
But
really, Joe doesn't get Deschutes?
No.
All right, we're gonna be just settle down, Eric. Just settle down.
Damn it, Deschutes!
Listen, I don't get to shoot.
Does everybody get Prairie?
Holy shit.
Joe's trying to answer.
I don't get to shoots, but I have an abyss and a not the stoic in the fucking cellar if we wanted to do it. So I do. I can
do stoic.
Well,
we could do a beta, Louisiana.
Or we just couldn't, or we don't want to.
Oh, got no love for the Louisiana beers.
What about Oscar
Not
Blues?
just the beers.
What about Oscar Blues?
Oscar Blues?
Oscar Blues could work.
Want to do Oscar
What
Blues?
do people like to see, I wonder.
I might just have a Death by Coconut in the fridge that I could consume.
Oh my God! Come on, man!
Yeah.
You get a bourbon barrel aged 1050.
I can give me some just regular 1050.
Well, you know, it's funny. I walked by the store
1050.
last couple weeks ago at Party Source and walked past the shelf and they had like 15 on the shelf just sitting there.
Dude,
I didn't get any. There were no sale or anything, but it was like any other time I can't find any. I was like, just happened to stop by. Oh, there's 15 here.
But my personal opinion on the barrel age is it's really awesome, but I think regular 1050 is really awesome. So it's like I don't know if it's
Yeah,
worth the
yeah.
premium you pay on the barrel age when the base is so.
I
awesome for
I
the
had
Pale
that and I
Stout.
was like, holy moly, this is good.
Yeah. The
We never
base
did
stuff
Goose
for
Island.
them is really good.
Excuse me. What now? We didn't do Goose Island.
We never did Goose. We haven't done Goose Island.
Oh, let's keep it that way for.
Well, we could do Goose. We could.
Does Guinness have enough beers? We could do a Guinness thing.
Yeah, I'm happy with Oscar Blues. I think someone said Oscar Blues. I'm down with some Oscar Blues. I do Oscar Blues on a scale of Oscar Blues to
No, Oscar Blues.
No, we're doing Goose Island.
No, I guess I'll bring my infected bourbon counter then. I'll drink that. We'll do that.
No, I mean, we can do Oscar Blues next week. Give that for the people.
Whatever you guys want to do. I would enjoy Oscar Blues though. I like their beer.
I was like,
What about Schlafly or Boulevard?
I don't get
You guys
Schlafly.
get them?
What
But I
about
do get-
Brooklyn?
Oh, we could do Brooklyn too.
We could
Yeah,
do Brooklyn. I had no problem doing
Omegang?
yeah, I'm a gang.
Oh yeah, we said we were gonna do Omegang. Yeah,
There's so many fucking breweries. We're doing them all. All of them. Just all of
you
them.
gotta have a list, Brad, and kind of check them off as we go.
Well, I got him in the title thing. I was going to go back and check them out.
We're having a hard time remembering the ones we already did.
Yeah, let's do Great Lakes. I'm like, yeah, let's do that. Oh shit.
Well, we
wait,
can
did
do a
that?
Great Lakes revisit, but didn't we already do that?
Yeah.
When you start, you're like,
Already?
let's do Lagunitas. I'm like, I'm
You don't
pretty
got to do them all before you start
excited.
doing. We know you don't have to do them all before you start doing revisits. We've seen it happen out there.
Yeah. Once you get to the fourth
Miller Lite
revisit,
revisit right here, guys. Right
Eric,
here.
when you get to the fourth revisit of Miller Lite, you're kicked off the show. Like we can't. No one on here can be 75 fucking revisits of Miller Lite. 3 is the max.
Yeah, I know Joe's been asking about doing Blue Moon for a while. But...
No, I haven't, and I never will. Instead, I want to do Leinenkugel Shandies, all of them.
Oh,
Yes.
no. Oh.
Yes.
Oh, we can do
Who's-
Leinenkugel, yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. And everyone has to bring a shandy, including Rod, because he loves them.
It looks like it's Oscar Blues next week, everybody.
Yeah, see, you turn it against Rod. He doesn't like those shandies.
No, those shandies, no, brother, no.
I think Oscar Blues is cool because it's it's we all can get it number one, but number two, like I do enjoy their beers, and they're the first brewery to can beer, like as all their beers were canned. So
Yeah,
I think that
sounds good to me.
Everybody bring 1050, right?
I got 10 Death by Coconut, all of it, like all the Death by Coconut.
You can have that. You can have
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. Thank you, Eric. You send me all your Death by Coconut too. I'll just drink it all.
You don't have to worry about me buying it, all right?
No,
If
no,
anybody
you don't.
doesn't like coconut, please send it to Joe.
Yeah, just take it. I'll take it all.
Even though he hasn't done Coconut Victoria City.
And it's Eric has a couple comments on here. Eric Gilbert, he says female bacon on a Kaiser. Yeah, it's female bacon.
Hell, female bacon.
It's basically Canadian bacon is what that female is basically.
Ham.
Yeah, no, it's kind of different.
We
It
call
is.
Canadian
It has
bacon
like
down here.
It has like a cornmeal like outer crust on it too. If you go there, most places in the U.S. you can get female. You check it out next time you're at the grocery store. Next time at the butcher, check it out, Rod. You'll see. He also says
bacon.
Belgium Moon, because so in Ontario, and I think in Canada in general, the Amsterdam Brewing Company out of Toronto, they actually have the trademark on Blue Moon. They actually trademarked apparently a bunch of like popular American brands. So when Blue Moon came into Canada, they had to call it Belgian Moon. So in Canada, Blue Moon, it says Belgian Moon on. They cannot use Blue Moon. It's hilarious. It's still a shitty beer, but it still says Belgian Moon on it instead of Blue Moon.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we almost had that here with Rheingeist that Todd is familiar with. They were going into Kentucky. They couldn't use the Rheingeist name, so they were called like River Ghost or something.
Oh, Jesus.
Mm.
Actually, I'll take it back. I don't think Blue Moon's terrible. I'll just say that.
You don't prefer it.
No, I like it over Shock Top personally. Like if I had to, between the two, I'll take Blue Moon over Shock Top personally.
Yeah, same here.
I would take it over Shock Top.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe, we could do Shock Top.
Or we couldn't. We couldn't do that.
You know, one beer I'm surprised I haven't seen here yet since they actually took the check from the man has been Wicked Weed. I thought Wicked Weed would do my hair.
I can't get him to come here either. I can't
I'm with you on that, Rod.
No, that's what I thought. I thought the distribution would be way better for Wicked Weed. And I know that some places are getting it, but they haven't moved this far north.
I mean, we're getting 10 barrel. Like every time you go, it's a different 10 barrel beer.
Oh,
but
really?
It's like, where's Wicked Weed at? I haven't been pleased with 10 barrel.
No,
I didn't think they were that great.
I remember when they first got bought out, people were like, why the hell are they buying 10 barrel? That's pretty much goes for everyone. They're like, what happened? But Wicked Wheat made good beer, and I'd love to try their stuff and have it here. You know, I mean, I've had a couple of their beers, but I just like.
Yeah, we're getting a little bit more of the Elysian, which I've been okay with. The Space Dust.
Yeah, Space Dust is good.
I got their pumpkin one downstairs to try. I haven't tried yet.
Here's the thing about Elysian. They made some of the best pumpkin beers I've ever had. Like when before they were bought out, they used to be here. They had a the hell was it? The first ever pumpkin coffee beer I've ever had, and it was really good. It was like Punkachino, it was called.
Okay.
Was so tasty. And then they had an imperial one. They had a pumpkin stout, and they were awesome. Came in. They did a pumpkin pilsner that was with ginger that was gross, but the rest of it was really tasty. And I've yet to see any of those really return. I think we still get just like the regular one, Night Owl. I think it is.
Yeah, that's the one I have is Night Owl,
and that's good. But like those other ones were so fucking tasty, and I haven't seen them. They still make good beer, even though they're bought. They fucking still make good beer.
I got a Flying Dog Gonzo Imperial in the basement as well.
I do. I do too, Rod. That's a good beer. Did you ever have it before?
No, I haven't had that one before. I still got the Guinness 200 in there. I got to drink too.
I have a barrel aged one that DJ sent me. DJ's Brew Tube. He sent me years ago a barrel aged one that he aged. It was like a 2011. I probably should drink it at some point.
Well, the other night I drank the Sakatumi from Lagunitas.
How was it?
It's good. I'll have the video uploaded at some point here, but I was like, this is really good. Why did I wait on it? Because it's a one hitter, so it's not out there. But it's like I waited on it because I had too many freaking beers. I couldn't get to it, and very tasty. Although I wouldn't recommend 10:30 at night. I wouldn't recommend 10:30 at night drinking a 32-ounce bottle of a 9.2% beer. But I sacrifice for the people.
What Rod is saying is be responsible. Listen to Eric, listen to Rod. Be responsible.
What did you have to pay for that one, Rod? Do you remember?
For the Sakatumi, I want to say it was like $4 or $5.99 or something.
You're fucking kidding me right now. For a 32-ounce bottle?
Yeah.
That one was $9.99 when I was at the store today, but their cappuccino and the regular imperial stouts were all $4.99.
Yeah, they're always $4.99.
I like their cappuccino one.
Oh, I think the cappuccino is probably the best bang for your buck from Lagunitas. Price point, like a bomber.
Cappuccino. Didn't see light back in the day.
But I think that Sakatumi was like $9.99.
Yeah, it's really good. And they use what was it, rice, and they use something else. I can't remember offhand, but
yeah.
I mean, you don't get that. I mean, it comes across as a nice IPA still. Really smooth, went down easy. This is Sakatumi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Eric Gilbert says, what Canadians call Canadian bacon in reference to female bacon. He says, I forgot that Blue Moon crap. He forgot that they changed it. Someone was drinking it. I want to say it was Chris from On the 10th the other night. And the Belgian Moon. I was like, I haven't seen the logo or the fucking bottle yet, and I'm like, this is terrible. It just looks wrong. Like it's so dumb. A single brewery.
That's almost like going to Aldi's and they got the knockoff beers with different names on it. It's like, wait a minute, I've seen this color scheme before.
Yeah, I know that beer.
Earth, I want to inform you that we've already done Bell's Brewing Company.
We did do Bell's.
One of the older. Yeah. I think it was Black Note along with Todd. I think, Eric, what did you bring to the table with Bell's?
Was it the Oktoberfest?
Might have had the Oktoberfest, and then what did Rod have? I can't remember. You had a couple.
I can't remember what I had there, but
I think you had Two-Hearted. I think you had Two-Hearted.
Two-Hearted?
So did Todd. I think Todd had Two-Hearted. You did.
I have that the Strong Ale as well for that one.
Strong Ale.
It's the 8% or whatever. What's the name of it?
I don't think anyone brought Expedition to the table, did they?
I can still get Expedition stout at places.
That's a fucking.
It was a Third Coast Ale. I think.
Third Coast because you bought like a fucking half case for 7 cents.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, I had this very stout in the basement as well. I got to drink, and the Abracadabra.
I think Expedition is kind of like fitty, where it's just an awesome base. Stout.
Did you drink your Alpha Claws yet? Or are you doing a review on it?
I drank one of them because both you and Todd sent it to me.
How'd you like it?
Oh, I enjoyed it. I actually want to kind of wait on the other one because the other one still had was hop forward. It was a hop forward, basically American porter.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I shared it with a couple friends, and then the next one I'll probably either review or drink down the line. I want to see how it ages, at least 6 months. See the hop side down, because I really liked the porter aspect of it, and then it had like piney kind of hops going on. So I enjoyed it, but like I think I'll like it better when it ages a bit.
Well, I didn't get a chance to watch Eric's video yet. And make sure you guys check out, I don't think we mentioned earlier, but Eric's video, his channel, Eric Alliance Fan. Check out his reviews and stuff too. But Eric, you mentioned the Fox and Honey coffee that Todd said was really good. So
that was really good. Really good.
That too.
I still have the Base Hunter and the coconut one that that Todd might have to like. Maybe in the next week or two, Todd, we'll have to do a review on my channel of one or both. So, keep that
Todd, if you can give me that beer again in a 6-pack, I would fucking. Oh God, that's good.
It's really still on the shelves. I can get it for you if you want more of it.
Dude, it's awesome. It's really well. I'm a big coffee fan, of course, so it's really good.
Yo, Eric's flipping out like in a good way. He's loving his
stuff. Oh yeah.
I'll pick you up some more of that, Eric.
All right, man.
I do have the Amagang.
Hey, Rod, did you do your review on that one?
No,
yeah,
I got to do a review on
yeah.
that one as well. And actually, the one that Joe sent with the candy, I got to do a review on that one too.
You still have that fucking candy? Let's hope it's not stale. Let's just hope it's not stale.
Hope it's not stale.
I sent the man the freaking candy that they use in the goddamn beer like 4 months ago.
You know what I had to do? I had to basically pretty much shove all the IPAs to the front of the order. They got precedent.
What'd you do with the candy though? What'd you do with the candy? Like
I
don't even know.
Right here.
I
had a couple pieces before doing it with the beer, but I still got some there.
Yeah.
Is
it all right?
Yeah, it's all right. I might do a video on this tomorrow.
The hell is that? Beer cotton candy. What the?
My wife got this for me for my birthday. I have no idea what it's going to taste like. But
that sounds just awesomely gross. Like
I know, right? It's like beer cotton candy. All right.
Like I like cotton candy. The beer flavor cotton. Like if it's generic,
it's beer cotton candy.
Yeah, I don't know when they
kind of supposed to taste like beer.
Yeah, when they say beer, beer, it just means it's like here's adjunct lager cotton candy.
Yeah. Well, if they're finding poison in some of the beers, it can't be any worse.
Earth says, "Do you guys have a list of breweries you've already done?" You know what? If I get time, I'll check out the.
Well, there is a playlist that I put the Google Hangouts on.
Yeah, so I'll do that. And maybe get a quick list over to Rod, and he can keep track and maybe post it at some point, or have it like maybe in the comment section each time we do it, so people, I don't know, something. But there is a playlist he has, on his channel. So go check out his playlist. And I forgot what is it named? Is it named Beer Flow Show?
Let me take a look here.
Because he didn't. There's a couple that he didn't name because we did. Rod wanted to do Lagunitas, and Todd and I were like, I'm pretty sure we did Lagunitas, and then you found it, but it wasn't like it was like the end of the actual title. It wasn't like right in there. It was weird how you had it.
Well, the playlist is actually Hangouts.
Okay,
we've done different things here, so I didn't separate the Beer Flow out to a separate one.
That's
but all the more recent Hangouts are all Beer Flows for the most part.
Okay. Yeah, we'll try to get a master list going. A, so people can know what we did, but also B, so we can keep track of what the fuck we've done. Because every week we're like, let's do this, and we did it. Now let's do this. I think we did that one too. It's like, we've done like 15, 16 of them at this point, haven't we? It's about a lot.
Things sometimes.
Yeah, I think it's like 16 maybe. No,
that's a lot. It really
I did
is.
these for a hop minute videos talking about different hops too.
That was nice for people to get educated.
Within a minute, I'll give you the breakdown of the hop.
Earth says it's on me. That is on you, Earth. He said I need to be a better supporter and do my own research. I appreciate you watching, but
it's great having you here. So
we have 2 members of Joe D's Hangouts that now watch these. At some point, maybe you'll be on here, like on an actor or something. We gotta steal Bum at some point. At some point, Bum's getting stolen. If I have to go down to Pittsburgh and steal him for a week, it's happening.
I mentioned that to Joe last time on this show. I need to do something, maybe get Bum an extension off that contract for a show.
Yeah, just once. So I just want to see how it is. I don't know about a Bum liquor report.
I'll send Todd to your show and you send Bum to mine for a show. We'll do a Like that. What was that old wife swap show he used to do where you switch people?
Yeah.
Whoa!
Celebrity
John,
wife swap. Yeah.
God, he's saying you're the wife of this channel. What the hell is
We'll do
wrong?
like
I've been called worse.
Wow.
Exactly. Now he's referencing wife swapping.
Yeah, Jesus. Rod,
Hey,
have a
Been
little.
called
And
worse.
Eric, you're
I'm
still
a little scared. I'm a little scared. All right.
Rod, we're gonna need you to have a little bit more respect for your panel members here. I mean,
Well, nothing grows up a millennial like a wife swap.
oh, Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Yeah, Todd, I don't condone anything Rod's saying right now. I'm just letting you know. Like, that's on him. It's all on him.
Sure.
I'm just going to continue to stay on mute, fellas. So
You guys are going to be over here, and I'm going to be over here.
Well, we've been on for a bit, so I guess we'll wrap it up.
Does that
That's
mean
what she
Eric?
said.
Oh, boy.
yeah, that's what she said.
I don't know. You tell us, Todd, the wife.
I was thinking of the old Dave Chappelle skit when he has the guy with the wrap it up machine.
Yeah.
He's like, wrap it up, dude. He's the music.
That's fantastic.
So Joe, I think I know what you need for your first intro music theme.
No, there's no theme. There's no theme. Go ahead and tell
Wait a
him.
minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait.
Uh-huh.
The Ultimate Warrior.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, only if I can cut a promo like it. Welcome, beer tubers, to the ultimate land of beer tube.
Speak to me, warriors!
Speak to me, viewers. I'm going to review Imperial Stouts and Cream Ales. Yeah, I don't know how that would work, but that'd be fantastic if you did it.
You figure it out.
Only one way to find out, Joe. Only one way
Yeah.
to find out.
We're not going to find out because there's no theme songs and there's no Ultimate Warrior promos.
Yeah, I think you really need that promo.
Baby, welcome to the Dusty Rose, baby. We're gonna review a cream ale tonight, baby. We're gonna see if it pairs with a little bit of your more pungent blue cheese like the Garganzolas, maybe some smoked Gouda.
Well, before we close it out, we have to turn it over to Eric.
All right, guys, if you've had too much to drink, please get a designated driver. You guys should know my spiel by now, but if not, I'm going to do it one more time for you guys. Guys, if you're going to be a hero and try to drive home drunk, you're going to do the stupid sobriety test. The cop is going to make you look like a fool, and then you're going to get a ride to the jail cell. Then you're going to have court fees, and then you're going to have possible prison time. And then if you hit or kill somebody, you're going to be in the slammer for a little bit. And then if you kill yourself, all you're going to do is oh, Jesus Christ. I'm
Hey, Jesus will get your face. You better get it right, sir.
yeah.
Accuracy is one. The
I believe
accuracy is one.
He said Jesus Christ. Is that right?
Exactly. Oh, Jesus. If you kill yourself, you're going to be in the ground 6 feet under. Rod, stop, man. Stop. Just sleep off your buzz and get to car the next day, all right? That's all I'm going to say. Just
And don't call Eric.
car the next day.
And don't call Eric. Just call for Jesus.
I just fucked up.
Yeah,
the
Jesus,
I'm
he'll come
sorry.
get you.
I just fucked it up.
Oh, well, thanks for everybody that tuned.
That might have been the best PSA ever, though.
I'm just going to go on mute now, guys, all right?
Bill O'Reilly. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it live.
Fuck it, we're doing live.
But thanks for everybody that participated. Hey, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button. You can't get humor like this anywhere else except here on a Thursday night.
Fucking figure it out yourself.
Where people may get pile drived on the 10th or power
Oh,
bomb.
they're gonna get power bombed through tables, preferably. Also, April 1st, something starting. I don't know.
Yeah.
Todd's channel.
I'm building up. Relax.
On Easter.
Sorry, I thought we were about to.
Don't get all anxious.
Gotta get there. Gotta get there.
So, for everybody that watched, we definitely appreciate it. And make sure, again, you check out Eric's channel, Eric Alliance Fan. And we hear a rumor that Average Joe may have a channel starting Sunday,
I don't know who started this rumor. But
April 1st. So, when you get off from church from the Rise of Jesus, make sure you check out the Beer Patrol for the Rise of Joe.
I don't condone what Rod is saying right now. It's April Fool's Day.
Beer Patrol think about what kind of theme song he may want to actually have, because we got to find something for him.
Theme song. No theme song.
We got to get. I'm starting to come around on the 10th with What Is Love. I'm starting to think that might actually work for you.
Oh.
And make sure you check out everybody in the chat. You know, in the chat, you can hit the 3 dots across from the name. And if you click on it, you can actually go to View Channel or Go To Channel. Subscribe to some of these guys. There's a lot of good guys in the chat to do some beer stuff. Check out on the 10th, who actually does beer and he does video games. And he gives you his own opinion on things.
And it's all done very poorly.
All done very poorly.
Very, very poorly. Very poorly.
He even takes you across some of the countrysides where he vlogs from the car. So make sure you check him out as well.
Overdosing on Tim Hortons.
Tim Hortons coffee.
Yeah, constantly.
And everybody else that is there. So thanks again for tuning in. And I'm going to go ahead and close it out. I'm going to turn it over to Road Dogg and let him handle things for the final ceremony here.
Oh, you didn't know?
Uh-oh.
Your ass better call somebody!
And we are out. See you guys next Thursday, if not before. Keep drinking those good craft beers. Remember, there's always time. Get your beer on.